Well, good afternoon. That song actually might be my favorite of my son's songs, you know. I love the Butterfly song. I love It's too. Love. But this Clear Skies might be my favorite because if you really listen to the words, and one of the great thing about Kyle's musical ability, he wrote all his own songs. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he wrote the words as well. And I just love the imagery that he weaves in there. Sitting on the bar stool is his outlook perch, and his glass of whiskey is his crystal ball. And I don't know. Anyhow, that's my son Kyle Fletcher. We always lead off with one of his songs, and unfortunately he passed away. But I always love kind of just listening to the words. And he's an amazing guitarist.
Amazing songwriter, amazing guitarist, amazing vocalist.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that. Anyhow, we are in downtown St. Paul. And as you know, there's been a fair amount of controversy about how to stem the rising tide of criminal activity.
There has definitely been a rising tide.
We don't have... You saw the two letters from the two of the major CEOs in town here, from Securian and Ecolab. Actually, we drive by Securian on a regular basis and talk to our friend Bob Fox.
Yes, indeed we do.
Wonderful man. Works nights at security there.
Loves this city. Like so many of us, he sees St. Paul as worth fighting for.
those of you that are coming to St. Paul to visit sometime, I know there are a lot. This is the core of our downtown. We don't get to see when it's really nighttime. We're on Minnesota and 7th. When I was younger, my mother used to bring me down here to the Golden Rule. You remember that?
You've talked about it. I think that was before my time here.
The Emporium and the Golden Rule. And actually, I'm pretty sure this county building over here is the old Golden Rule building that the county now moved into.
Okay.
2562 adult males from the main LEC starting flight.
We used to take the 9 bus from out in Maplewood, drop our 15 cents in the meter downtown.
15 cents.
Actually, we had tokens back then. There were bus tokens. I think they got them in groups, but you did some bus tokens. But right here on our left is the great corporation of Securian Financial right there. You can kind of see it a little bit. They own both sides of the street here. But that entire tower is owned by them as well. Their chief operating officer, chief executive is Christopher Hilger.
John Paul Gadboy just shared an interesting piece of trivia about Securian.
Yeah.
He said it is the only true north-south facing building in St. Paul. That is why it is in an angle to everything else.
Interesting.
Thanks for that
Interesting.
little piece,
Very
John
I
Paul.
love that kind of trivia. Mr. Hilger does an awesome job. The whole corporation is amazing at their contributions to the city and Ramsey County. You can see there's other side of the building here, other side of the street, Securian there. That's where Bob Fox works. And they have been really active in helping St. Paul over the years. And of course, with the Downtown Alliance, making sure that there's a collaboration to keep things safe down here. Not sure why they honked. You notice I got a little different smell in the car today. I put some Lysol to work on the carpets.
Ah, okay.
So if you start sneezing, that's what it is. Can you guess what flavor that is?
Fresh linen.
It is! Oh, good work, Patrick.
I actually have fresh linen at my home.
Yeah.
Whenever I change my sheets, I spray down the mattress with fresh linen.
Now that's something I wouldn't have ever guessed.
Tree, can you grab this plate when you come in and run it
Of course,
for
the
me,
light
please?
rail that runs to Minneapolis, to downtown Minneapolis, ends at the Twin Stadium. Over there ends over here on 4th Street in St. Paul. You can take the light rail right from here all the way to downtown Minneapolis at the Twin Stadium. Drops you off right at the Twin Stadium. I guess I didn't get the windows that clean, did I?
It's you got it in front of the camera, which is the
That's
most
good.
important part.
655.
655.
Always shows up more in the
Well, we're going to
sunlight.
read some of your comments
Same location.
in a little
investigate,
bit
please.
that we pull from our notification
209
post.
X-ray Yankee
In
Hotel.
terms of your ideas, in a minute here, we're going to let Patrick kind of roam through them. There's a lot of them, but some of them are repetitive. But- So we'll get to that in a minute. For those of you that are wondering, what we're doing at the sheriff's office, we're doing, we're recommitted to West 7th. We've been down on West 7th Street for several months, helping the businesses offset some of the crime that's going on with the shelter that's been there. But we're, besides having our community service officer ambassadors there, we we're assigning deputies down on that 4-block stretch during weekends and wild games.
Nice.
So we're doing everything that we can, but let's just face it, we have a third of the many officers that St. Paul is allocated to have. So, but Chief Axtell did ask me if we'd be able to help, provide a level of security there that allows people to feel comfortable. Because, let's face it, this whole thing about the police prevent crime, when a person is walking next to a couple beat officers, they feel safe, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not rocket science.
And quite honestly, anybody who says otherwise is being disingenuous.
Or is completely uninformed.
Yes.
Uninformed. Here's the other major business, Ecolab.
Yeah, we have an action point injury.
Been here for many years. And it's you can see it there straight ahead of us, the tower there. Used to have both buildings, I think, or at least they were over in this one. Well, I don't know when they came. They came in the 80s. 80s? Yeah. Somebody's honking at us?
I hear you, a radio beeping.
Could be a dead one.
Yeah, I will plug it in for you.
At Barnes and Noble. There
Anyhow,
was a group of 6 that needed to
Ecolab
be
University Center,
items from H&M. They got
Alliance Bank. CEO Christoph Beck. Anyhow, we're fortunate to have business leaders that are concerned about the safety, right?
Yep. If people can't feel comfortable and safe coming downtown, they're not going to come.
Yeah. So there's Candyland here.
2552 arriving. Endings 49, and we'll be EOT. Good night.
Popcorn or cinnamon bears? Popcorn? It's my favorite. Are you gonna get Chicago mix or just one? Chicago mix or just one? Just one. It's a tough call picking what type of popcorn. Do you get the mix or do you get the...
I'm a purist. I just like plain old popcorn.
Most days I am.
2255 Snelling Avenue North.
So we're northbound on Wabasha at 7th Street. Just about saw a rear end accident there.
Hey, response, I'll check the other channel.
Thank you.
Black male 32 wearing all black clothing. Left on foot on the frontage road. Headed towards the Roseville.
Hey, for a different day discussion. On the right here is the Ramsey County Juvenile Justice Center. We're going to have a robust discussion about juvenile justice as we move forward. This one's dead.
Okay.
That's a dead one. Get the charger or not?
Yep.
So, Mickey's Diner up here at St. Paul and 7th.
Not back open yet, it doesn't look like.
255, go ahead.
I get medic here, 30-year-old male, conscious, breathing.
Nigga, I don't need to.
Everything okay, folks?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, good.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
It does sound like a lot of loud yelling.
All right, take care.
So this is St. Peter Street. This 7th Place Mall, I guess they changed it to Ecolab Plaza, huh?
Huh.
Yeah, look at that. Ecolab got its own plaza.
I'll be.
Wait, well, that's just this side.
Oh.
Your Karen speaking off during the year, Karen.
Yeah, that's the new Ecolab location. It used to be at the other location, but they're over here now.
Any current speakers on channel 3?
It's a beautiful, beautiful structure and building.
Yeah, it is.
Ecolab Place. Oh, Ecolab Place, not Plaza. Yep. And their address is 1 Ecolab Place.
And that right in front of us is the Meritage Restaurant, a really excellent French restaurant. And I believe they have their annual Oyster Fest coming up, in which they have oysters from the East Coast, the West Coast, and Alaska available.
Well, that is something I had no idea.
Well,
Thank you for that.
I'm an oyster guy, so
I know, it's good. What's the status of Kincaid's now? Do you know?
I think they're still open.
Kincaid's
I hope they are, because I have a gift certificate for there.
Medical alarm activation 24.
Looks like they're ready to open. It's probably not open till 5 or 6, just for dinner maybe, huh?
Oh, there's people at the bar.
Okay.
Copy 3935.
Yeah, I like that place.
Great happy hour at the bar. Great.
Yeah,
Great food.
I'm still on that fingerprint. I've never got such a number.
It's our St. Paul Hotel there. Rest assured, if we get a serious call here at 4:23 in the afternoon, we are going to go on it. Just giving you a sense of our downtown that we're trying to make sure is safe at night.
We did have a shots fired call earlier this afternoon over off of.
Hey guys!
Hey guys, how
How's
are
it
you?
going? Are you watching?
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
we're just leaving work.
All right.
I logged on. I was like, what are they doing on here?
Yeah, we're showing off your place. You work at the St. Paul Hotel, or?
I'm chief engineer. This is Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Good to
Nice
meet
to
you
meet
guys.
you. It's a great hotel. You know, we love it.
That's right.
And
you know-
great restaurants.
You know, my wedding
Going back open. What's
my
that?
wedding reception was here. You know, when I got married,
I met you at the get together. You told me about that.
and then my daughter's wedding reception was here too. So, love your place.
Very good. Well, stop back anytime.
Thanks a lot. Have a good
Thanks
day,
for
you guys.
keeping it in great shape.
Thank you. St. Paul Hotel, we'll kind of go by the front of that. You can't really see City Hall, but we are down here at 4th and Wabasha, 4th and St. Peter, and we can see City Hall. The offices for the St. Paul City Council, the St. Paul Mayor, and the Ramsey County Board are all in there. I think the City Council's on 3rd floor and the County Board's on 2. Right there is where the Sheriff's Jail used to be.
Yes, it is.
That's where I started working, on the bluff there before they tore the old one down.
What trigger bind?
There's a lot of special treats in downtown St. Paul. I mean, we're going to try to show you a few of them. On our left here is the Science Museum of St. Paul, and Science Museum really of Minnesota. But there is quite a facility. Bring your kids down here. It's
Oh, it's amazing.
a great facility. And of course, the River Center is ahead of us, connected to the XL Energy Center. We are going to just go here, drive by the Ordway, because that's one of the nicest theaters in the Midwest, I would say, huh?
Oh,
Ordway
absolutely.
Theater.
Absolutely.
And just for fun, we can't go by Herbie without saying hi, Herbie Brooks.
We'll get him in the view here.
You got him in there? Oh yeah, he's in there.
Yep.
Herbie Brooks. Do you believe in miracles? Herb Brooks did.
Miracle on Ice.
And of course, that was a great story in 1980. This is the backside entrance to the XL Energy Center, the River Center.
And this, by the way, you can get COVID testing done here. This is the door you go in.
That is the Landmark. Just a gorgeous building there. You can see. Oh, can you see it? Yeah.
Yep.
Ordway Theater of Performing Arts. On our left here, a lot of people have enjoyed. It's a quality experience. The Landmark on the right.
Trish used to run the security for the Ordway.
Oh, she
off-duty.
did.
I have a great video of when our daughter Kirsten got home from deployment, and she got home a few days earlier, and we didn't tell Trish.
Oh, really?
We parked up the street, and I followed her filming
That's cool.
her surprising her mom.
That's cool. That's really cool. This is St. Paul Hotel here.
I've never stayed here. I've heard it's
We're
wonderful.
gonna have to fix that.
Heard it's wonderful.
It's the valet service out front. It's a great hotel. Again, the Landmark on our left. And all of this is right down. There's a river. The Mississippi River is right over the bluff. So far, so good in terms of calls, huh, Pat?
Yeah, definitely.
178. 178. Can we get another ambulance for our location for an approximate 30-year-old male, conscious breathing with stomach pain? We're code 4.
So you can tell that Pat and I love the downtown area. And like Pat said, we want to make sure it's worth. We know it's worth fighting for. We want to make sure someone fights for us.
I love this city. I love it.
To pick up some belongings from his mother's house. She doesn't OP against him.
I love downtown, and I love every neighborhood in this city.
1630.
Every neighborhood has its unique charms.
Yeah, I did get some texts from people saying, well, make sure if we're going to fight for safety downtown, we're still fighting for it in the neighborhoods. Well, of course, right?
It goes without saying.
Yeah.
About 140. 40. At your convenience, can you call console 15? Copy.
It's going to run across the river for a minute. See, our town is built on the river. Like many towns, it's one of the original river towns.
Maybe when we run across the river, we could stop at the Holiday, and I could get a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, we'll do that after we show off our river.
This is one of the most beautiful stretches of the Mississippi there is. Right here.
It's so gorgeous. The fall, the trees are starting to change. A couple weeks. They'll all be. You know, in 2019, the allocated police strength was 635.
In
19, 635, and then it went down to 620, and right now the number is at 560 that they actually have.
Wow. And probably 20,000 more calls a year.
Well,
Conservatively, I would guess.
2019 was a huge uptick in crime, even after they had 635. And then, obviously, 2020 and 21 have doubled since then.
Well, this RAV4 is no longer stolen.
Okay. I mean, the numbers are what the numbers are, right?
Yep.
And the St. Paul Police Department can't continue to lose bodies and not get them replaced.
No.
And
By the time this latest academy class is ready to be street ready,
9 months.
we're going to be down to the same situation we're in now.
Chief Axtell told me it's 9 months.
9
So
months.
we're over at Harriet Island across the river from the downtown. You can see it in the background. It's a beautiful, beautiful backdrop over there. And we're going to give you a little sneak peek. There's the cathedral. See, there's some guys taking, it's such a beautiful picture. You see they're taking pictures there.
Mhm.
We're gonna get you a picture too. Hang on a second. Hi. Pending. What is it?
380 and 381.
Pending here.
160 Mariah. Sounds like the town wants to
Got
report
it.
it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
Thank you.
All over the place with the story.
Pending right here with a suspicious guy casing cars, Pat. Can you see it?
No.
It's in pending. White male with a red hat.
1631.
Maybe your computer didn't log on right. You don't see it?
No.
It's in pending. It hasn't been dispatched.
Yeah, I checked there. I was.
You got a lot of them in there, though, buddy. Suspicious activity.
Oh, I didn't recognize the street.
So read that out.
White male, facial hair, wearing a bright red hat and a black leather coat, knee-high checkered socks, looking into car windows and casing out the area, last seen to the west towards the boat area.
So our view is going to have to hold off. There is a boat harbor over here.
4496.
We're going to go in through the regular way versus...
Justice O'Hage Boulevard.
But the last they saw him, they went toward the boats, right?
Yep.
This is west.
Yep.
2000 block center, Echo West. I don't know what hang out from us, cell phone team with the 19 meter. Sounds like someone walking for voices or
Supposedly the people thought this party was casing
Cars.
cars.
I'll take that as close one.
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get in here. We can drive in through the sidewalk, but
2680 Lexington Avenue North.
sometimes they do go into the boats down here, usually at night. Is it supposed to be a red hat or a red shirt?
Red
I'm
hat.
gonna run over to 540 Barrington quick. They didn't come.
Well, the hybrid is still behind us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the actual street.
So Harriet Island Park is not necessarily where we were. There's something not quite right about this guy.
Straight through Central, take front of them.
2750 Noel Drive in Little Canada. 83-year-old male with right side pain.
It's not far behind us. It's right here.
Ah, okay.
So there's not
Looks like
much.
we got some homeless set up back
Yeah,
there.
there's not much to steal here.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna go back to try to get in where the boats are there, because I think you can walk there from Harriet Island. So we are what's commonly referred to as the west side of St. Paul, which is the west side of the Mississippi River. That was Lilydale Regional Park we were just entering, but now we're going back toward Harriet Island. Earlier in the day we could get in here, but right now the road is closed. Drive down the sidewalk to see if we can find the party that was casing cars.
Affirmative.
If we can get down there.
Looks like that walkway there might get us in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know how far we can get down, but it's worth a try, huh? What? You get another great view.
Yes, indeed. We're urban explorers. We're not afraid to drive down there.
And there are several paddle boats down here. The Jonathan Paddleford will show you in a little bit.
Yo, head to your toe.
Looks like that's a dead end there, though, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Well, we can get a peek.
Yeah.
And he might have gone the other way too. We can maybe go. But you're right, there were some homeless camps down there along the river. So we've shown you the trains. Now you're seeing the the river, the barges, boats.
It's a great little overlook over the river.
That is what's affectionately called our high bridge.
Ah, looky here. Good find.
I don't know if we're gonna make it very far.
Copy.
But we got a good perch. See if anybody's breaking into boats.
360, copy, route 520, Fred, on a
Take a peek, huh?
Yeah.
He's on a ring camera, 6 juveniles that were at the front of the house. They were trying to kick the back door in, and then they couldn't, so they started kicking the shed. And possibly live at the townhouse next to her. $52.84. To the right, I copy your route to Period Island. I'm suspicious for a male that's looking into vehicle seen out the area. Copy, 6043. Copy. You'll see your 84 Wabasha Street.
Well,
There might be room enough to turn around here. I'm not sure. I've never hit anything in front of us.
no, you haven't. Not a once.
Should we put this button on?
Not a bad idea.
Oh, I can see some of the boats down there.
243.
4-3.
Getting ready for winter. Some people do live down here on their boats
Mm-hmm. Year round.
year round. That's their home. I
251.
don't know how they do that in the winter. I think they pump water in from the lake, or how does that work?
249.
I think there's some kind of circulation system.
252.
Like an RV?
Yeah. But I'm not sure.
Dave Titus would know.
Negative for 252.
Copy.
I
Thank you.
used to live on a boat.
253.
All right, well, you are going to enjoy this view
257.
coming out of the woods, seeing the beautiful downtown St. Paul in the distance.
203, that's all.
We got the sun at our backs now.
We've got a pretty cool skyline.
Copy. 259.
Negative.
We just gotta take a peek at the.
Any other?
I'll get the cathedral in here in a minute.
They respond. Have a good night at 245.
Ramsey County Sheriff's Water Patrol patrols this Mississippi River on a regular basis.
Report.
Commander Eric Brott and his crew, and most of you know Jeremy Bolin. He's down here on a regular basis.
Copy. 245.
And if you're not from around here, see those barges over there? Those barges really are what the economy that our city was built on originally.
Yep.
Bringing grain and products from Minnesota down the river. How am I looking?
2364, 2362.
Thanks, Bo.
Well, those apartments along the river, that's the lower landing, right? Is that the name of
The
it?
new ones?
3304 Churchill Street, Smart the person in
There's-
crisis.
the new ones are right here, and
Tom
then there's
had a
another set
knife
over there. I don't know
in
which
his
ones
vein
are.
and then wrapped the dog
That probably
leash
is the
around
lower
his
landing
neck.
there, yeah.
Decided against it, no longer has the knife or the leash. 22-year-old Jaden, who wants a TC to stay on the phone with him, but does not want medics at this time. 534 and 526. 2345 Jack.
Gonna call Commander Eric Broad here.
Ticket aggressive security was directing us. A white male wearing a black jacket, flashing on the 3rd floor. Possibly went down to the 1st floor.
526, copy, route.
At 1647.
Oh, you can kind of see the river.
144.
Kind of imagine it being off to our left, but it'd be nice to be able to see it.
146, you gonna make it? 46.
Oh, there's the Ecolab Tower right there, Pat.
Yep.
Copy, 146, 149.
Jonathan Paddleford coming up on the left.
151, you gonna make it?
Yep. You can.
And the first one here is the, what is it?
Jason Northrup.
Copy, 151,
The
158.
Jason Northrup and the Jonathan Paddleford.
Copy, 158. Anyone else for you?
You can rent those boats and for your event. Oh, there's a picture.
Thanks, bud.
There you go.
The Jonathan Paddleford in the foreground there. Ecolab in the back.
The river in between.
The Landmark Center, we drove by the Landmark. We forgot to mention how beautiful that is. Gorgeous spot. They can see the river, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, just a second here. It's Eric Broad.
We're gonna call him on speaker.
He's going to call you on his phone.
Speaker. So you'll be on live.
Oh, have to call Jim Moody's.
Hello, Sheriff.
Oh,
Eric, this is us. How are you doing, Commander?
Real good, sir.
Good. Anything going on the water today?
No, pretty quiet.
Okay.
Better walk with computer here. Yeah, I sent you the code to get into the St. Paul yacht there, Sheriff.
Oh, you did. Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Thank
good,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey,
Okay.
are you still working the river, or are we wrapped up?
We're still working it for a little bit yet.
We want to take live on patrol on a boat here on the river. Maybe
Okay.
sometime soon, maybe this weekend or something, or it's going to be nice on Sunday, right?
I'm actually going to Madison for family weekend for my daughter's college.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's important. Well, maybe next week, during the week.
Okay, perfect.
Let's
Look forward to that.
Let's plan on getting out on the river
Sounds
and
good.
taking a look.
Excellent.
All right, Eric, thanks a lot. Thank you.
See you, Commander.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
For the medical, you got me at 470 at 1649.
So,
And just when I do copy the DOC.
you'll see the barges there in front of us, taking their product down the river.
Copy.
I would think being they call them pilots, don't they? The barge captains.
I don't know, but Eric knows. He works with them all the
I
time.
think that would be a cool job.
Well, it would certainly be fun to go all the way down to New Orleans, huh? On the river.
Heck yeah.
All the locks and dams that are involved there. It's just a beautiful sight. There you have it. The barges end up there in Minneapolis, near Lock and Dam number 1.
I don't know if that boat there is a private boat or a tour boat.
The High Bridge?
The
I
High
don't know.
Bridge.
Looks like maybe a tour boat. This is Harriet Island that has been the home of many, many fun activities.
Just had the Irish Fair in August. Used to have Lollapalooza down here.
Taste of Minnesota.
Taste of Minnesota.
Riverfest. Used to be Riverfest.
524.
Looks like subject left. Unknown direction.
A lot of festivals, thanks to Councilmember Dave Thune and Ron Maddox. Jason, Minnesota was at the state capitol for the first year and then moved down here. A great venue.
I really do like it on these occasional day live on patrols.
Well, we get to show our city. We never get to show anything when we're...
And I like showing off our city.
Now, you've been with us on this road when we're chasing street racers, but never saw what it looked like in the daylight.
All right.
Bravo 513 DOT.
Copy, Bravo 5153. Have a good night. 1662.
How are you? Oh, you're watching. Thank you.
Awesome.
Come on over and say hi.
Or Summit 911. Voicemail and call back.
Oh, that's your bed and breakfast.
Sweet.
Oh, I've heard such great things about it.
Yep.
The Covington Inn, bed and bed. What's it say? Bed.
Bed and breakfast.
And then, okay, that's awesome. Now, what hours are you open?
All the time.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, I just happened to pull up the live and I seen you down at the other end. We have another boat down there. I could almost see it, a cabin cruiser.
Cabin cruiser.
Yep.
So the breakfast, do you serve eggs?
She does. She usually makes fancy French toast.
French. I like French toast too.
And if you stay, multiple days, then you usually get the eggs.
All right.
Not the same thing.
Well, I'll have to do a multiple stay.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
It's good to see you guys cruising down through
Yeah.
here, though.
Well, we love it down here. But we're hardly ever here in the daylight. So,
Yeah.
but we do come down here at
We've
night.
been down here a long time, 18 years.
18 years. That's amazing. Thank you.
We loved all the things, the events they used to have here.
Yeah.
We got the front row seats.
Yeah.
People come every year for Irish Fair.
That's,
Same guests.
yeah.
They book for the following year. It's kind of nice.
Well, Pat and I just want to make sure we have enough
34.
police officers to keep those events safe. That's the critical
Yeah,
part.
it's been a little
Can
crazy
you
down
lock me
here
out so I can
lately
let back
with the trouble and the people wandering.
Wandering through, yeah.
But we try to keep it clean. We
Yeah.
do what we can too.
It looks good now,
We keep,
right
We
now.
keep an eye on everything at nighttime down here.
Yeah.
That was a private boat, by the way, the houseboat, the High Bridge.
The High
there.
Bridge?
Yeah, they stay at the lower harbor right over here.
Okay. Thank you. What was your first name again?
Bill.
Bill. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, really nice to meet you. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it
it.
was cool. I was like, you guys are right here and during the daytime. I'm like, I'm going to run up there real fast.
Thank you. And tell your wife we said
Oh,
hello.
yeah, her name's Liz. She's run the place. For
We
a
will
long
for
time.
sure come by.
Yeah, absolutely. You're always welcome down here. Just if you're just driving through at night, because, like I say, there's a little bit of riffraff hangs
Yeah.
around down here sometimes.
Now, do you ever serve meals apart from someone who
No,
stays?
it used to be years ago. There used to be a no-wait cafe there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
Liz
right.
was a waitress there years back, and then she ended up buying the place from the previous owners.
Sweet.
Oh, very
That's
clever.
18 years ago.
Who were the previous owners?
It was Tom Wellna.
Wellna, that's what I was going to say. It was
and
Wellna.
And
Yeah. Tom
something
Wellna.
like that. Yeah, he still comes down every Tuesday. Him
Oh, he
and his
does.
singing group.
Wellna?
Yeah, and they sit under the canopy down
You
here.
tell him Bob Fletcher said hi when you
It
see him.
sings river songs and stuff. They were just here Tuesday out there
Oh,
singing.
my
up
goodness.
So they have a few beers and sit around out there. They've been doing it for 20 years.
He was a good friend
That's
of
cool.
Jim Scheibel's too. And Scheibel's out teaching in Hamlin. I went out and taught a class for him out there. So
3-1, I copy
I'm
your
glad to
route
see some of those old guys are still around.
Oh yeah, him and the same buddies. They've been around a long time. I mean, they helped them build this thing
Squad to assist.
years ago.
I thought that was Wellna, yeah.
Yeah, he's still around, still doing good.
You can tell him Fletcher said hi.
Absolutely.
Thanks
You
a
guys have
lot.
Good to
day.
meet you, Bill.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Well, that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
534.
534.
This is the parking lot that we see the racers in
Copy.
a lot, and we're going to take you over to a daytime view of Raspberry Island,
Heck yeah.
which also was the site of the memorial for Markeisha a couple nights ago.
Markeisha Wiley, do not forget her name. A kind and gentle spirit and soul.
Copy 1656.
You're smiling, so it must not be broken, huh?
What?
You're smiling, so you must be okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good. Very good.
Yeah.
Another medical attention. 2480 Fairview Avenue North, number 145.
I think he was checking his tire out there.
Outside the
some people are kind of taken aback by just approaching them and being kind.
Yeah.
They're not used to that.
Copy 6056.
So this is Raspberry Island, underneath the Wabasha Bridge. It's a fantastic piece of geography beyond the river of the Mississippi River. Little amphitheater out there for events. They used to hold a number of concerts here. That one of the reasons it was a great location is there weren't many people that you could disturb.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's been a little growth in residential housing around here. So it's all those buildings over on the west side there. So, a lot of times we come down here, this could be a staging point for the street racers. We know they're going to have an upcoming event they've posted over at the Sears parking lot
Oh, really?
on Halloween. I think they think they're going to put costumes on and we're not going to recognize them.
Well,
They haven't been in St. Paul that much. They've kind of really cracked down. In fact, if you can see these tire marks on here, this is one of the places they like to burn a little rubber.
Halloween, huh? I wonder if we'll trick or treat them.
Good one. Well, we're going to try to convince them not to show up. They've even got a plan to, and of course the reason we do this is because people have gotten shot and killed at their events. And
Yep.
we're not going to let someone shoot another Vanessa or Nicholas.
Jason, I will send you a message later tonight on how the dual streaming is accomplished.
You mean for us on Facebook and
Yes.
YouTube?
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do?
That's that's Jason from the Logan, Ohio Police Department.
Jason, how the heck are you, buddy?
Policing for our community.
Yeah.
Good to see you on here,
To be
Jason.
real simple, Jason, we bought an application called Restream. You can look it up. It's just download the app called Restream, and it allows you to pick what social media you want to stream it to. And the simplest is Facebook and YouTube. But just check out the Restream app or call my office and ask for a guy named Kyle. He's the smartest guy we got. Kyle Meestead. Probably the hardest worker we got too. Guess where I'm headed, Pat?
I'm hoping I know where you're headed. Do you need
I'll
anything?
take a Mountain Dew, but I'll also take a cold water.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're at West Side Club Holiday.
Jason, let us know if that made sense. The Restream app.
And no sense in trying to beat your brains out to figure out how it works. Just call Kyle, and he can walk you through it, because honestly, we don't know how it works either.
But we do know the name of it.
All right.
All right, I'll be right back.
I have a message Ramsey.
So,
Regarding an incident, I have a phone number. If you don't already have it.
I am going to read a few of the comments.
Copy. Give me the phone number.
I have a little harder time reading because I bit my tongue the other day.
810-59.
Don't ask me why I had to bite my tongue.
Copy.
It's not that normally I do bite my tongue, but occasionally when you hear things that you can't believe, you have to bite your tongue. But this was actually a physical biting of my tongue. So there's a lot of discussion going on right now in St. Paul to figure out what the solution is to make sure crime is curtailed. And it's no secret at all that Pat and I have been very vocal about the need for some additional bodies. But that is just one part of the solution. We never dispute that. By the way, if you haven't shared this yet, if you wouldn't mind doing that, just to let other people know that we popped on for a while.
If there's one available, I'll let you know if I'm going to need them or not.
So, I'm just going to go through some of your 220 comments here real quickly.
365 times us. We're out with him.
Starting with the most recent. We don't believe there was any wanding or metal detection set up, but it would be a good idea for many places to screen people for weapons, but not many do that. It's a cost factor, I'm sure. People want to, as I mentioned earlier, we're doing everything we can. We're dedicating extra bodies down here. But the sheriff's office is very close to full staffing. We have had a cut, 2.5% cut from the budget from last year. But the St. Paul Police Department is so much larger than us that when they're short, their shortages have more direct impact. Let me see. Some people think we should not back off on low-level crimes, hold people accountable. I'm just reading from the comments here. Because a lot of felons have long records.
Medical 20 minutes, 70 Mountain View Boulevard, 56-year-old female who fell, hit her head while getting out of the shower.
Some people still posted on here from don't do the boat ride in case we get vertigo. Beat cops. People are arguing for beat cops. I'm a big fan of beat cops. Walking the beat, it makes people feel comfortable. They get to know people. It's great community engagement. And it also, provides a presence. And just a reminder, Pat and I know that presence makes a difference. I'm just reading through some of these comments that people posted earlier. Mm-hmm. I'm here. You can just kind of summarize some of the thoughts as you roll down there as we drive around.
Sure.
After you get your swig of
water or dew first?
Start with water. Yeah, I'll put the light dew in the back instead of water. Well, that's spring water.
Of course. Because you're a spring chicken.
Spring chicken. Just kidding. Too bad the spring chicken can't open the spring bottle. I got it now. Just kind of summarize some of those ideas that our viewers wrote in with.
It's from Dale Doulis.
Yeah, and I wasn't reading the names.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
Sure. More police for calls and social interactions with the citizens. Kids be treated and punished as adults when the serious crimes are committed by them. Emphasis on serious.
Doors open.
Judges need to be held accountable for allowing criminals to be free after committing crimes that demand sentences for the crime.
Actually, Chief Axtell mentioned that yesterday in his interview.
For an SIP, 1281 7th Street East at Brittany's Place. Resident ran away from the address. Westbound on 7th, threatening suicide. No specific.
We'll go over there. 'Cause
Yeah.
I like those people at Brittany's Place.
Yeah, me too.
They do run a great operation. Anyway, judges accountable as well as cops, right?
Yep.
Simple concept, accountability for everyone.
Especially with all the problems with shootings we've had, particularly over the last couple of years, and the demand for something to be done about crimes involving guns. One of the ones that has always baffled me is how seldom Minnesota has a 5-year mandatory minimum for a felon being in possession of a gun, separate and apart from any other thing they may be arrested for. Yet that is most often the first thing plea bargained away.
Yeah.
And I personally would support increasing it to 10 years.
Some states have that.
Yeah, they do.
You need to send a message that if you make a decision to take a gun with you into a bar, that if something goes wrong, there are consequences. What else you got there?
How is it so beautiful in St. Paul and over in Brooklyn Park it's cold and really cloudy?
Well, that's because this is the saintly city.
That's right.
All right. This is the saintly city.
And I'm really sorry, Tom, but Brooklyn Park is not mentioned in the Bible anywhere. St. Paul certainly is.
No. Remember, you're named after New York. We're named after St. Paul.
Police presence prevents problems. That's about as simple as it gets. Yeah, really.
And you really need to chime in. It seems like an obvious thing. It's sort of like the sun rises in the east, but there are some politicians that want to just deny that. What else you got there? There's a lot of them now. I mean, just people really pounded comments in about their ideas.
Mm-hmm. I want the prosecutors and judges to remember what the word recidivism means and hold these criminals accountable. Eliminate the inappropriate bail funds for violent criminals.
Well, that is a big issue nationally about bail. And, I mean, there's a debate on both sides. Should your ability to get out be based upon your ability to pay? Should other organizations be allowed to raise money to bail you out?
Without taking into account anything about the severity of what you're charged with.
Should certain types of crimes just be held without bail, or so substantially high that even companies couldn't bail people out? I mean, that's a really fair discussion. There's issues at both ends. Some simple offenders that don't have any money at all ought to be able to bail out, and some serious offenders shouldn't be able to benefit from some political organizations raising money. So, what's next?
1 second, looking at this. Any updates on this call? Okay. Better to nag on your kids than to have them end up getting shot dead.
You know, that is a very good point, and a lot of people chimed in and said the parents should do more. We don't disagree with that, but some parents are overwhelmed with just trying to stay afloat financially.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're a single parent working 2 jobs, there's a limited amount of time you can spend.
Everybody goes through that. How much nagging is too much? You know, we still have a 16-year-old. We still struggle with that. You know, homework nagging or be somewhere you're supposed to be. At the same time, you want to have a good relationship with your child as well, without being a nagger all the time. Of course, there is a simple solution to that. Whoever you are, just let your spouse do the nagging.
Oh, you're going to get in trouble for that one.
I didn't say which way. Oh, I love my wife. My wife is an amazing woman.
She really is. You're a very fortunate man. Maybe it's not just the police that needs improvement. Perhaps society itself needs to do better.
Well, there you have it. There's some truth there.
Yeah, there is.
Todd Axtell kind of said that. We all need to be better.
Mhm.
360.
Actually, Buzzy Bowen put a post in there, which, if you get to it, be sure to read that one. It might be on my page. Get through these. I want to read Buzzy's because I think she really represents where a lot of people are.
Yeah, I read that, and I really liked what Buzzy had to say.
Just letting you know, medics updated that they won't be en route unless you find her.
Is that the call? Medics aren't coming unless you find her. We're looking for a runaway.
Yes.
From Brittany's place that has some suicidal issues. That's why we're headed over here to see if we can help out.
It's a juvenile care facility.
Yeah, they're not all juveniles anymore. They're
Oh, really?
No, girls that have been abused or victimized or, you know, need some... I mean, they mostly are juveniles, but they're it's kind of a woman's shelter.
You clear that Victoria call?
Glad we could show you the beautiful trees lining our streets. We always say criminals love the cover of darkness. Like, it's hard to believe, but we are about to turn on Earl Street, which you've been on with us countless times. We're on 3rd, we're going into Earl. We're going to go right by where the house that had the bullet in the house. Right up here on 5th. Twins Market and Meats, Dairy Queen.
Show me clear.
The house to the left here is the one that had the bullet. Right,
Yep.
you can't really see it, but the other night when we were out, the bullet through the window.
It looked like a rifle bullet.
It sure did.
Go back to the basics. We need the number of police officers increased to a level that will sustain special details working specific detail assignments targeting specific crimes, including the return of neighborhood patrol, like in the old days. Teams of officers walking the streets.
You
The
know-
days of Bob and Pat.
Well, there we have it, you know, and here's the thing.
We talk about this a lot.
All the time, and when the mayor and I were debating this issue on the radio, he referred to it as the old ways or something.
Yeah.
And
Derogatorily.
and you know what we said is that, well, it's even in the letter that the CEOs, proven ways. They're proven ways.
Yep.
You can call them basics, but they're proven to work, proven to make a difference. Look at those cute kids there. Want to run out in
Hi,
front of
kids.
them. Hey guys.
Checking for a spot that can break to assist medics with the slumper at Hyacinth and Arcade.
I don't think I got any gift cards here today. I might. I got to check that out.
I
later.
understand we have some on the way.
375 copy, thanks, on the north side of Hyacinth, 2 houses west of Arcade.
All right, so we're coming out on the 7th Street backseaters.
Looking for a girl in a maroon red jumpsuit and white shoes.
And we're going to find her. Maroon. Isn't we know if she's a white or black girl at all?
She is a black female.
Okay. Maroon outfit though.
Yep.
On foot in the alley about 10 minutes ago.
It's something different. I'm going to put this on 3.
Here for a minute.
West on foot in the alley?
That was from a central call.
Oh, sorry.
383 copy en route to a CSC.
Well, let's ask that guy
report
if he's seen it.
445 Edna at 1750. I copy en route to
Gingerbread
1370 Meadow
Ninja
Avenue
Turtle.
with Shoreview license plate taken off of Comfy vehicle today at 1717.
Well, you know how I like train tracks, right?
Yes, you do.
A lot of times kids hide out this way. I mean, if she's on the street, someone else is going to find her.
Right.
But if she's
We
on the
might
tracks,
as well try something different.
let's try something different.
2363.
We're coming up on that
Action.
building.
Accident with injuries eastbound Highway 36 at Edgerton for a motorcycle
That's
down.
not good, motorcycle. This is the building where you guys saw the man look out the window when we missed it.
And we thank you again.
Yep.
What's that remind you of? The fence. All right. So, if you were to run,
I might head straight to the Speedway to get some snacks I haven't been able to get.
the one on
Johnson?
Johnson, okay, but
They didn't say which direction.
I think they said westbound.
Did
but,
they?
But you know that can change in a heartbeat.
Look here.
5281, 5282.
Oh, you're right. Westbound.
5284.
There's a park over here. If I was depressed, I might go sit in a park.
Yep.
2300 Cleveland Avenue North,
Think about your
Motel
life.
6, number 225. The front desk calling for a guest who said they tried calling 911 and hung up.
Maybe
So
that's
the
not a
female
park.
was trying to take
There's
his phone.
It's
And they
park
have no
like.
further info other than the guest name of Ardell.
355.
355.
We'll be able to couple 841 losses.
Copy 841 Lawson, 1720.
Well, it's certainly remote enough you could hide back here.
Yeah, it is.
165.
A nice little setting for.
Very few
For an
places.
office.
I haven't been. This is one of them. Well, we got some people coming out here.
5284, I still show you out of service admin.
840.
Copy.
Rice Street Old School Boxing Gym.
Yep.
Mike Evgens.
Mike Evgen. He's an institution. Wonderful man, helping a lot of kids.
Quite the success story himself.
Yep. I've never been back here.
Wow, me either.
One of the few places in the city.
Accountability for adults and juveniles. We need judges and a county attorney who will do their part to stop the revolving door. Number 2, proactive policing. Bring back community policing the way Bob and Pat work. This ties in with number 4. Build back that community and flip the script with the current trend of hating on law enforcement.
Copy, thank you, 13.
What happened at 3?
Here it comes. Support from city and county leadership.
355
This will require new leadership as the current ones are largely not offering the support needed. Number 4,
What the heck here?
proper staffing. The department is grossly understaffed. That issue speaks
Better
for
check
itself.
that out.
DC, yep.
Well, he might be late for a boxing lesson.
Ah, good point.
172's taking an alarm at 945 Chris Butler Route 1722.
All good.
For a minute there, I thought we were in the movies. Look at you, huh? That's a classic look, huh?
Yeah. Hey,
You've been around as long as us.
this it learns you a lesson. Never protect
8131 Red
forever or
Oak
stay
Court.
put.
Never what?
Don't
Comes
ever
a
touch
neighbor
the
said 13-year-old female home alone.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Christmas tree light
Beautiful day, huh?
pulled up,
That's my sister, that's
occupied
my
by
sister.
2 black males.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
At the address
That's your
of
sister?
light. They approached the door
He said
and found back
Hollywood.
in the house.
Yeah, you look like Hollywood. That's what I was going to say. Like your car, too.
Thanks,
Have a
man.
good one.
Yep, too, man.
We were just chatting with Hollywood. He got our attention.
It's you guys. Oh my God.
We thought we
Hi.
were in a movie for a minute.
Fletcher.
How's it
Come
going?
say hi. Come on and say hi.
Well, you don't have to be on the camera.
You're not on camera.
You just talk. You can just talk right.
Good. How are you?
One patient
I
down,
was
headed
looking like,
three.
oh, that's the police. Wait a minute.
Is
I
that-
was just leaving my house.
Is that your brother or what?
Yes.
He's totally old school looking.
Yeah, he is. He's looking for his gold teeth.
Gold teeth?
Yeah, he got some gold teeth. He was looking for them.
Oh,
Yeah, so he backed out to look for his teeth.
nothing worse than losing your gold
Yeah,
teeth.
I told him to get some poly grips.
We're old school too. That's all.
Yeah, I told him to get poly grips. Yeah.
Hey,
you on
here,
tonight,
why-
or you guys just out?
We're on right now, but no, the camera's towards the front, so
okay.
we can hear you, but nobody can see you. We're looking for a little girl. You want you go and tell her?
Yeah, we're looking for a black girl who's wearing a maroon or red jumpsuit
Okay.
and white shoes.
Okay.
She ran away from the home that takes care of girls up the street,
Right up here.
and she was talking about hurting herself. So we really
About
haven't.
what age?
What age?
Just a teenager.
Teenagers.
Teenager?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is my first time coming out.
Okay.
Though, so
Well, if you see her, please give us a call.
I will do that.
All right.
I will do that. You guys
Hey, thanks for watching. Why do you watch us?
I do. Just, well, to
Tell-
see how you guys handle situations and then to make sure you guys just nice, because you always treat everybody fairly.
Well, thanks for saying
Thank
that.
you for saying that very
Thank-
much.
Thank
I
you.
love it because every time I see y'all, I say, oh, they coming down my way. Yeah, you go that way. So,
Well, I'm glad you stopped to talk to
yeah,
us.
sometimes I try to catch you here, but you've been gone already.
Well, you got us this time.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. Well, that's the reason to work days more often.
Absolutely. Okay, I was looking right into that sun, and I am seeing stars.
Here's Brittany's here. So let's see if we can check out that gas station. You are right, my friend. That if I was on a run, I want to get some.
Something I've been craving that I couldn't get in there.
They make good food. Actually, John Choi, Todd Axtell, and myself went over there a year or so ago and helped cook their food.
Really?
They got a nice. Well, actually, I got to say, Todd did most of the work, but I got an invite, and nice, well-run place. We were there one night. Remember, there was a young lady that was fighting with staff.
Yep. And she was locked in the bathroom, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
No
that,
sign of her
speaking of
there.
that, I want to talk about that
Oh.
a little bit. Not about Brittany's,
Do we
but
want the rear on?
no. But just thinking about overall safety in our community. Well, let me back up. There are certain alternative schools that are higher level of kids having issues.
Yep.
And we have one that the sheriff's office patrols. And those two school resource officers have probably one of the toughest jobs in the business.
Absolutely. I couldn't do it. My hat's off to them.
Because where the line is with how much force you use with kids when they're misbehaving is certainly different. And the reason they're there is the other schools couldn't handle it.
Right.
So, toughest job there is, I think. I mean, just being alone in a school with several misbehaving, and not just easily misbehaving, but serious kids with serious mental health issues. So now, translate that into all of our schools in St. Paul that none of them have school resource
There's one on the
officers.
Wabash call that could advise us we still need the DRE to assist state patrol.
I don't like to make predictions, but I did once last Friday.
Yeah, we did.
And I don't have the, just so you know, viewers, backseaters, advocates, second guessers. We don't have the ability to influence this decision. This is a decision between the St. Paul School Board and the City of St. Paul and the St. Paul Police Department. But every professional I know in law enforcement believes that we should have school resource officers in the high schools.
Yep.
Every high school in the country.
You're looking for a DRE. You got one on.
We don't have them in St. Paul right now. And twice a week, the squads are getting calls to fights at the school or in or around the school.
This week, it's been pretty much twice a day.
Yeah, I don't want to overstate it, but I want you to understand that the tension in the schools, when there's no presence there, is causing a problem. And there are several school board members that have made the decision not to have school resource officers. In fact, even at football games afterward, there's been issues because there hasn't been.
Yes, there have.
So,
Most notably at Central, at their first football game of the year.
Yeah, the nighttime football games are problematic. But let me just ask this. If you're the citizenry, who do you expect to solve this problem? Who are the leaders in town that should solve the problem? And it should be the school board members, granted, but it should also be the city council, and the mayor.
Right.
Someone should stand up and say, you know, our kids aren't safe without some law enforcement presence in that school. An officer that gets along with kids, that works with them, but is there to neutralize, de-escalate conflict. We go to all this de-escalation training, and then we don't even have an officer there to de-escalate it.
It's astounding to me.
So I don't know when it will be, but I'm saying the schools have been set up for a problem where someone gets seriously hurt unless they get those school resource officers. I sound like I'm talking with a extra dry mouth, so I'll shut up and you talk.
Well, the football game I was talking about. I mean, 2 students stabbed and 1 beaten unconscious. There's only pretty much 1 step more serious than that, and we definitely don't want that to happen.
So my job is always to try to look over the horizon and predict what's next. And what's next is a problem in our schools without appropriate levels of safety. And we should never not have school resource officers because we're arguing over who should pay for it, right?
Right. But
that's what true leadership is. The mayor should step in and say, okay, let's figure this out. We can argue about the money, but let's figure this out.
I mean, historically, the school resource officers, they build good relationships with students.
Awesome.
And they end up getting tips about when there's a fight planned for after school, or if someone maybe brought a gun into the school, and on and on and on, and they're able to short stop those events from happening. They're able to get the gun off the student so no one gets shot. They're able to have cars, squad cars around the school when it lets out to keep the fight from happening. It's such common sense to me that you need school resource officers in the schools.
So what happens is everyone rushes around to fix the last problem, although we haven't even got to the fixing the last problem. But the attention is in one area, and then something else happens in another area that people didn't pay attention to. Not a lot of hot stolens tonight. Usually we have a couple flying around the east side, right, Pat?
Yep. You know, someone said, Pat, find some criminals. Well, that's what we're looking for. We're driving around, we're looking for things that look unusual or suspicious. And since we've been driving around, I've probably run 20 license plates.
Yeah.
Looking to see if the cars are stolen.
Yeah.
See if the registered owner is wanted for a serious crime. We're constantly looking for criminals.
That's all we do is scan. Scan.
When we're driving down along Harriet Island and along the river, showing you the views of the city and talking about the city we love, we're at the same time looking for anything amiss. What's this? You didn't hear who that was.
Channel 3.
Copy behind the stolen, ruin, eastbound, Simpson Earl.
Sims and Earl, eastbound.
Okay then.
333 will leave, or 355 will leave with me here in a minute.
629 X-ray Juliet Echo.
South through the alley. They should be popping on that York and Earl here shortly.
Copy downtown through the alley.
All right, we're just gonna go.
Thank you. Okay, you're gonna have to watch for
Earl and York.
Yep.
They're on the other side of Johnson Park there right now.
That goes off right away. Heavy.
Did he say he took off?
Oh, yeah, towards the 80K. That's where he was coming from.
See, unmarked cars that like ours have such a better opportunity to follow a stolen. We're headed into an era where we're starting to put more unmarked cars on the street just for that purpose. You know, our whole auto theft unit has unmarked cars because you can't really get close enough. Marked car.
I'll give you a type of car here in a second.
Did he say where it was?
He lost it. A tan 2010 Chev Malibu.
Earl and York,
Yep. Earl and York is where they let us saw it.
That'll be coming up to Maryland then, huh?
Yep.
And their landlocked there over to Lane Place, kind of. So, head that way. What's the plate?
629 XJE.
XJE if you're in the
Tan Malibu we're looking for, folks. Last seen around Earl and York. Tan Chevy Malibu. Johnson? You think?
What'd you say?
Johnson, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
838. Can they read the plate on that Malibu?
629 X-ray Juliet Echo.
Believe it or not, Pat and I are
Copy
reading.
that. It's at Walsh and Jessamine, northbound towards Maryland.
Walsh and Jessamine northbound.
Copy northbound Walsh and Jessamine.
See who's on our check, huh?
Yep.
There's sticks approved.
307 or 6 approved.
Anybody on the
stolen.
detail monitoring this stolen?
What's the vehicle wanted for?
The stolen vehicle.
It just went, stand by one. Westbound in the north alley from Geranium and Walsh.
Well, you could probably block the alley there.
076 are approved.
Sounded like Pat
Copy
Scott.
westbound North Alley for Geranium and Walsh and sticks are approved.
Geranium and Walsh, 629 X-ray Juliet Echo, Tan Malibu. Squads are following it. Sticks are approved.
Okay. I got my radio on, but I'm not drunk.
Well, don't. That's fine. We don't.
That's fine. Channel 3.
Stand by.
Thank you.
Still got eyes on it?
Clear.
Yeah. Yeah, last one. Southbound Walsh. I'm right behind you.
Southbound Walsh from Geranium.
Just tell them to turn channel 3 on. The rest of them. We don't.
Down Jake. Trying to get bikes.
Okay, everybody go to channel 3. I'm going to be off of this channel.
Southbound Walsh crossing Jessamine. And we are westbound Jessamine.
Westbound Jessamine from Walsh.
7, we tried stopping this car yet.
Jesus.
360, we're moving yet. No stop was initiated. I was waiting for more cars and he went through an alley. Once he seen a marked squad. 838, he just crossed Payne. He's kind of speeding up.
Well, tell our viewers what's going on.
Okay, squads are behind us stolen. Westbound Jessamine or Geranium from Payne?
Jessamine, I think, from Walsh. Yeah, from across Payne now.
He's about to change lanes.
Yeah, wait. I'm gonna beat him.
Jesus.
All you gotta do is stop, buddy. All you gotta do is stop. Where are we at?
Anyone get eyes on it?
Oh, he lost it.
Any squads still have eyes on that stolen?
Witnesses in the area are saying he went northbound on either DeSoto or the next block to the east, northbound.
Okay then. Northbound. Alright. Somebody crossed over. Oh, that could be in there. No, that's a Honda, right?
You had my heart pounding, Bob. That was a Toyota.
We're looking for a Malibu, though, right?
Yeah. 629
I'll
XJE.
tell you, he's gonna pop out on Brainerd, right to our right here, right up here. Okay. Where that car is.
That's a Chevy. I think that's too new though.
Oh, check it out. He's not driving really with a fast enough speed.
Nope, that's not it.
That is a Chevy.
It is a Chevy though. I think it's too new though.
Yeah. Temporary plate though. Viewers, backseaters. You backseaters, help us find this one. So it said he popped north on DeSoto, right?
Yep. Or 1 street east of DeSoto.
That could be him right there. No, that's a Pontiac,
That's
right?
a Pontiac.
I noticed it was a Pontiac.
And squads on the stolen. A caller at 484 Geranium says they saw the tan Chevy Malibu going very fast from 484 Geranium northbound on Burr.
I'm not sure what that was.
Northbound on Burr. Okay. Well, that's us. Because this is Burr.
Yep.
7-6 County. Cleared all your shortly.
What's that?
17.3.
They got a car stop there or what?
No.
No. He's chasing down that one we just looked at. Just a little bit
Yep, one of our backseaters just said the same thing. Saw it going north on Burr towards Maryland.
Well, if it turns on Maryland, someone's going to spot it.
Clear.
Son of a gun.
Well,
Hills Bills. I don't know where that came from, but. See, what we have is a group of unmarked cars.
Ivy and Greenbrier. We got the car.
Ivy and Greenbrier.
Copy Ivy and Greenbrier with the car.
Good.
Clear.
We don't know if there's people in it yet. That's the problem for us.
If it's moving.
And Greenbrier is east of Payne, so we got to go around the different construction here that we have. Back up Brainerd with.
Citizen is saying he ran northbound from where you dumped the car.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Copy ran northbound from Ivy and Greenbrier.
So we're heading in the right way, right? How's it look?
Hold it. Go.
I love when you say hold it.
636-838 is witness. Can I be the driver? 376-1349 Edgerton saying he just ran back westbound towards Lake Cyril
Shoot.
from Edgerton.
Okay.
And can I be the driver if we
How about a description?
take him into custody?
Copy ran westbound from
You guys see anybody running?
Edgerton.
I see anybody running?
Further description besides
Okay, thank
the
you.
black male and white t-shirt.
Black and white t-shirt.
Yeah, we got baseball cap,
Cyril.
camouflage pattern, and 5'8",
The squad came north to
70 pounds.
came north up here to Edgerton. I suppose he jumped on that bus. It didn't seem to stop, did it? You guys see any young people running?
About 5 minutes ago, he went that way to went back.
Yeah, now he ran this way on foot.
Oh, I didn't see
Around
him.
13.
Keep an eye on Edgerton for us.
636 Murray out, Cole Frontdale.
You know where he's going.
Copy.
I know where he's going. He's going to Nebraska.
360, we're at Sherwood and Edgerton.
We gotta catch him before he crosses the street.
363 is probably only wearing one shoe. Light gray Nike at the scene here.
So if you see anybody with just one green Nike on,
Alright, well, there's a place they run up to a lot, so let's just see if we can.
yep, good idea.
See if we can watch anybody moving this way.
We can hear some cars on Payne for our east perimeter.
Try to see if we can watch a couple angles at once. If you can watch that road.
Mitch, was he heading towards Cyril from Edgerton, so he was actually heading eastbound?
Yeah.
He was. Sounds like he might have been trying to get to 1349 and seeing how it took off back east towards Cyril from Edgerton.
So originally he was headed east. He said he was headed west. Well,
355 will take Payne Ivy.
Copy, Payne Ivy.
this is where he said he was originally.
301 at Arlington and Bradley.
So, well, let's take the north here, Pat, in case we can see that. We can see down there pretty good. Let's see if we can see Payne. I can see. What do you think? We got a good view
I
here,
think
huh?
we got a real good view here.
Right square in front of us there. That's where he pops through there.
Yep.
Backseaters, you might see him if he pops through that road right in front of us.
What is this right in front of us here?
You know, what is that now?
375 perimeter, Payne and Sherwood.
Copy.
That's the old Nevada. Nebraska's where that house is, and that's
Right.
the old Nevada.
Okay.
So
Well,
we're
I'll be able to, if he runs across, I
Yeah.
can say he's crossing Nevada.
yeah. And Cyril doesn't go through there, I don't think. So he's either got to go through houses or double back. But I think that's the other thing. I'm hoping someone's watching 1369 Payne.
Mm-hmm. I think this was our best spot.
370, Cyril and Sherwood.
There is a problem property at 1369 Payne that we're always at. You've been at it with us before.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough cars. Like, east. From Ivy to the north.
Ask him something if your radio's on.
Yep, go ahead.
376, you're kind of quiet. You said make Greenbrier the east perimeter if there's more cars from Ivy to the north.
Yeah, if we have enough. Greenbrier, Ivy to the north.
Does someone have the alley behind 1369 Payne just to make sure he can't get back?
I don't think it's going to be any relation to that address. More related to 1349 Edgerton, if anything.
I see. Okay.
636, I'm pulling up in the area here. What would you like me?
Stop here at Greenbrier and Ivy.
Copy. Here, Ivy.
Never assume anything. Yes, sir. Okay, but we're in the middle of finding a. Okay, all good. Thank you.
When I moved to Arlington.
Do you want to use this one? Oh, it's dead.
Arlington and Cottage.
There you go. Oh, you got one?
Copy. Was it Cottage in Edgerton?
Yeah, apparently I'm lost.
I'm what?
Copy.
Apparently I'm lost.
Okay. Well, I think they're going to try a track, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember, put it back here when you're done.
Yep. I promise.
Checking if there's any squads that can clear for a 3-year-old locked in a vehicle at 1350 Maryland.
307 I can head there. See if 380's done. You can meet me over there.
380?
I wasn't familiar with that. I don't think I was familiar with 1349 Edgerton before.
No, I'm not. Obviously the
Good to
squad's
know.
there, but I'm sure we'll get an update from Jelly Joe on that location.
Yep.
I'm not sure how they drew the connection, but
I think they're familiar with it.
no, but I mean how they drew the connection with the kid. Just because he fled in that direction.
I gotcha.
So tomorrow night we will be on Friday night.
Great.
380.
What's that, Shirley and Sherwood? The secondary location.
Disregard that, sorry.
So that debate has sort of spurred me to want to make sure people can voice their opinions on different issues.
636, you have the permanent card. Read out the announcement over the PA, please. Thank you.
Canines are about to go in. They're going to read out the announcement of the canine about to search.
Perimeter cars, read out the announcement on your PAs.
Well, we're on a perimeter. It doesn't seem that exciting, but this is what you do.
This is how you catch the bad guys.
This is how real police work works, teamwork. Can't catch one guy running through the neighborhood unless you got about 6 to 8 people that are helping you secure the neighborhood. Then the canine goes in and we're looking for an auto thief. I don't think he crossed Edgerton. I think those 2 guys saw the car buzz across Edgerton. They probably would have saw him come back, right? If he was running. Hi. The young lady wasn't sure who we were. We don't have our red lights flashing right now because if the suspect peeks out between the buildings, we don't want him to notice us.
So some folks are wondering, what are they doing on that median?
Well, there's enough flashing lights around. A lot of the other officers keep their lights flashing because they have marked cars and they're going to be seen anyhow.
Right.
But we're in an unmarked, so when he pops out, we want to make sure.
366 or 376.
So hopefully nobody left their car running in this perimeter and he jumped into another car.
Copy. Starting the track from 675 Ivy.
So 675 ID is where the car is.
You check with other channels and see if anybody has a lockout tool. They can meet us over here.
Receive.
I meant to order us another air bladder for our lockout kit, but I forgot. I'm going to do that.
Well, you're just going to have to start lifting weights then. So when you put that wedge in there, you don't need artificial power. Zeus, I think they call you Zeus. God of the North Wind.
Maybe in my next life, they'll call me Zeus.
Zeus.
There's a pain. Maybe people standing on the corner going to.
355, can you tell those people to go inside?
We'll certainly try.
So I am I'm interested. I happen to know some business leaders met with the mayor today to try to convince him to do more. I have no idea how those meetings went. But
307, we've got 180 on the way to you.
Copy, thank you.
But I was thinking what we would do is, in addition to giving these candidates a chance to give them their 10 minutes when they call in, actually I want to open this up to some other elected officials too. If you want to talk about the issue, feel free to let us know. We'll call you. We're all about talking about public safety.
355, they're clear.
I know Rebecca Nowicker, the council member from the West 7th Street area, had a morning breakfast meeting down there in West 7th, and there were a lot of concerns. I mean, it was a very concerned crowd. About 40 people showed up to express their concern, not just about that, but about the impact of the listing house, because they were told it would be temporary. But what I was thinking is, I'm going to try to pay attention to people's press releases.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Dora's issued a few in the past. I think if the people come up with new ideas since the debate, everything has changed since the shooting, really.
Right.
So if any candidates want to talk specifically about things that have changed since the shooting, send us your press releases. And I did get one today from Dino Guerin. And I didn't read it in its entirety, but it was an interesting concept. And I'm going to call him here in a minute and just have him explain it to us, what his concept is. And other candidates, Dora, Mickey, Bill, Paul, whatever, send us your press releases if you have a new idea about how St. Paul can combat crime, an idea that wasn't already discussed, either at the debates, etc.
Right. You didn't have much time to answer at the debates. I think it was 1 minute.
1 minute. Yeah, we want to hear your long-term, your big picture thing of how to
215
deal with crime.
445.
So since we're sitting here and we're stuck here for a while, I think I'm gonna call Mr. Guerin. I have a couple other messages out for other people too, but
I copy cancel 180.
hopefully we can get a hold of him. If there's an emergency call comes up, we'll certainly cut that off, but we want to just keep the conversation going. It's not good for us to sit in the same spot too long either. You know that, right, Pat?
Yep.
Hey, good evening. How's the connection tonight?
Well, I don't know. Are you near a window?
I'm always near a window. Just in case I got to jump.
Well, you probably heard us talking about you. I saw you had a press release that came out today, and I don't know if the mainstream media covers things anymore, so we decided for you candidates we're going to try to cover your press releases. At least somebody can hear them, so tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We, it was really clear from that forum we had the other night with the League of Women Voters that there really is no short-term coordinated plan to address crime. It was just obvious. So I did meet with some folks from our campaign, some people from law enforcement. We thought it would be a good idea, and I would do this as mayor, that on Monday mornings we would invite the police chief, and we'd invite the sheriff, the fire chief, and the 3 commanders. And we would meet to look at what happened in the past week, look at, are there some trends? Are there some patterns? Where do we need the resources? What time of day? What day of the week? We're going to look at all that, and then we will make decisions to shift resources based on what we see. If we are seeing patterns or trends in crime, which typically we do. I mean, clearly during the Cadillac converter thefts, it was pretty obvious what was going on. They were coming out between 4 or 5 in the morning, before people went to work, and definitely when they were well sleeping. So there is some advantages to looking at trends and tracking that. So that would be a big component. The second part is there's so many repeat offenders out there. We would track them, and we would communicate with the public monthly reports of these repeat offenders, where they are in the criminal justice system, what the outcome is, and are they being held accountable? Because in most cases, I mean, everyone knows it's a revolving door. The police are catching the same people day after day, and that really is discouraging for them. So we're going to track these people. We're going to publish it so the citizens can see exactly what happened. And then there is another component. And as you all know, it's not all law enforcement. We do want to bring in once a week, probably on Thursday after we meet on Monday, bring in the community leaders, bring in the social service people, bring in the ambassadors, bring in some of the folks from the clergy and really the community leaders, and let them see the trends, and maybe we can move them around. If we're seeing certain increases of crime in certain neighborhoods or certain recreation centers, maybe we can move some of these ambassadors and social service people to that part of the city. And again, we'd look at days, we'd look at times, the time of the day, and try to use our resources better. So that's really it in a nutshell. It's not real complicated.
All right, let me ask you this. Have you put this, if people wanted to read it or learn more, is it on your website yet, or will it be there shortly, or do you?
Yeah, it's going to be shortly. One of the things I do out of courtesy is when I send it to the media, sometimes they want the first opportunity to print it. And of course, when you're running an election, you need some publicity in the paper. So I did not post it, but I will be posting it tonight. So it will be on there shortly on the Facebook. It will be on both of them. So you'll be able to see it. It's a one-page document, and it should be there about an hour. It just says, it's a press release. Garen announces public safety plan.
Well, I hope have you heard any more offers for any additional debates at all?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I was hoping we would, because I think we're starting to flush out some issues and try to give people a better understanding where everybody's at. And I think it's one and out. And It's unfortunate. We really didn't get a lot of time when there's candidates. It's not much of an opportunity to talk. I mean, it was great. I appreciate what they did, but I was hoping to get a little bit more exposure, and I'm sure the other candidates feel the same way.
All right. Well, we're in a couple of seconds, we're going to let you go because we only want to, keep this to 5 minutes. But thanks for sharing that with us. I hope there's another debate, because I think the public benefited by hearing something from each of those candidates. And anything we can do to help stimulate a debate, we'll do it on our end. But thanks for sharing. What is the website again?
Oh, it's a Facebook, DinoForMayor.com.
Dino for Mayor.
And then there is a website, and that is www.dinoformayor.com. So it'll be on the website or the Facebook. It'll be on both of them.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. We appreciate you taking initiative to think about this and what can be done. We try not to comment pro and con on people's ideas, but we greatly appreciate you taking the time to explain it to us.
Yeah, I hope I see you Monday mornings next year.
Yeah, there you go. Monday morning, sheriff's being invited. It'd be the first time let me just say this. It would be the first time I've ever been invited over to the mayor's office to talk about anything.
Perfect. I'll have something nice for you then.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
So they got the dogs searching out for the suspect. We're on the northern border up here in Nevada, in Payne. We like Payne. We can see down Nevada as well. So I know Dora, Mickey, Paul, Bill, they'll all have some additional comments. We'll give them each an additional 5 minutes to talk about some stuff here as we head forward, right?
I like that idea.
We still got to get Paul on there for his first 10, and Bill Hosko, actually, we've contacted him. He'll be on tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
Tomorrow night, Bill Hosko will be talking about public safety. And most of our viewers thought that Bill, Dino, and Dora were top of the group, right?
Yes, that's definitely the overwhelming consensus. So for those of you just joining us, wondering why we're just sitting here,
Go ahead. No, you're good. Yes, sir.
we're on the perimeter for an auto theft suspect who bailed out of the stolen vehicle,
That's all right.
and we're helping St. Paul
No, that's all right.
keep the
You
perimeter
said no?
secure while a canine does a track.
Yeah. You're sure it's not in the trees above you? Okay. Yeah. Fascinating. That's all right. Not that late. Are you headed home? All right, buddy. Love you. Love you. Bye.
Hey, what's up, Pat?
How you doing?
Bob.
How are you?
Hey, I got some gift cards for you. Is it okay if I come give them?
Yeah, not for us, but for the people on the streets. Yeah.
I'm an active watcher here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
That's really good. Plum holiday.
man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What's your first name?
Skipper.
Skipper.
Just call me Norm is what my real name. But
Who's that lovely lady with you?
that's my Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Norm.
much.
You bet.
Do they now when you walk into a bar, do they call your name? Norm.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Skipper, the first Skipper on Gilligan's Island?
Yeah.
I met him once
Oh, did you really?
in Los Angeles at a gas station. They didn't make any money back in those days, And I was so excited to see him. I was squeezing his hand so hard. He finally said, "You're hurting my hand." See you guys.
Take care.
You guys get that guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Alan Hale, right?
Alan Hale. Yep.
And you were hurting his hand.
Yeah.
That's a big
He
man.
had a big hand, but he was a little older than me. And a young pup. When you see Alan Hale, that's an exciting moment.
Well, heck yeah.
Not as exciting as William Shatner gets flying up into space.
And that's something.
Oh, he was in tears, that guy. He was just literally in tears.
That's cool. Well, thank you, Skipper. Thanks, Norm.
People are getting home now. Maybe they can actually watch Live on Patrol. Some people gotta drive home from work. But Bill Hoska will have you on Friday. Paul, if you ever listen, we're glad to have you on anytime. Give you 10 minutes to talk about public safety. Mayor Carter, you're welcome to come on anytime as well. Let us know when that would work. And the other gentleman didn't show up for the debate. Well, I'm gonna move around a little bit here, buddy. You
Yeah.
good with that?
Yep.
Stand by.
Standing by to stand by.
There's a dog down there a block south of us.
West on Sherwood from Maine.
That's them down there.
Michael, if you're driving around and you see something of concern, don't text us, don't call us, call 911. But we would love for as many people as possible to be extra sets of eyes.
Oh, here we go. I didn't know there was an alley here up Darlington. Well. Oh, we'll see if the dog tracks south or north. If he tracks north, then we'll know we're in the right spot. If he goes south, then we can probably relieve ourselves. Speaking of which, where did we see that outhouse?
I don't remember.
I think it was by that soccer field down here off of DeSoto. Looks like nobody's actually up on Arlington, huh? Back into me, please.
Yeah, that would have not been nice.
I'll sit here for a minute. There's a person with a reflective vest on down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our people, is it?
Don't believe so.
Yeah, this is the other thing about crime. This is a story I saw the other day. Maybe you can read that about the guy that was the Good Samaritan that was trying to help.
Yeah, this was one I was going to bring up tonight.
Yeah.
This was Tuesday night. Young man by the name of Brandon Oxt.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah. We're looking.
Keeping up safe?
We're looking for an auto thief.
Well, we live right over here.
We're not
I watch you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Was driving for DoorDash when he saw a man in the street at Victorian University who'd been stabbed in the neck. So he jumped out to help the man, called 911, and he was helping the man. Somebody jumped into his car and stole it, his DoorDash car, and then drove the car into Brandon, sending him up over the hood of his own car. And WCCO's Jeff Wagner was interviewing him about this. He wasn't talking about his car being stolen. He wasn't talking about getting hit by his car, by the auto thief. All he asked about was the stabbing victim and wanted to know how the stabbing victim was doing. Fortunately, the victim is expected to survive. But I'm going to tell you about the vehicle they stole from Brandon, because we're still looking for it. It's a 2012 Toyota Yaris. Now, you're probably going to need this to look this up because they were only around for a couple years. It's spelled Y-A-R-I-S. It's a very small Toyota. It's light blue in color, and the license plate on it is MGR Mike Golf Romeo 991. MGR 991. Now, it has some damage on the driver's side of the vehicle from prior to the theft. But hey, let's keep an eye out for this car. This is this young man's livelihood, doing DoorDash in this car. Let's get him his car back. Check out your side streets or in your neighborhood. When you go to the store, check out the parking lot at the store. If you live in an apartment building, check out the parking lot. Let's help him get his car back, folks.
Well, that's a terrible story. Oh, you should also tell him the other story about the poor pizza guy that got carjacked on the east side, and then he got run over too.
Yeah, this was on the 2200 block of East 4th Street. A pizza driver is delivering a pizza, and as they often do, because, you know, it's not, we don't advise doing it, But when you're in a hurry making a living, sometimes you take some shortcuts.
And the car is all marked with pizza logos,
Yeah.
pizza stuff. It's all
And had a
marked.
sign on top marking the pizza company.
Yeah.
So he's delivering a pizza. He comes out, and there's two guys with masks on stealing it. And they ran him over. And he not life-threatening, but he had some fairly serious injuries from this. And St. Paul squads spotted the car a short time later, but were unable to catch up to it. But all of the pizza markings on the car had already been removed within minutes. And that is a bright red 2016 Honda Civic, license number BRJ 516.
That should be easy to find because
Bravo Romeo Juliet 516. Now, there's a strong possibility they headed to Minneapolis because within about a half an hour, a cell phone that the pizza driver had left in the car was tossed out of it up by Selby and Fairview.
Yeah, but they'll be back.
They'll be back. They'll be back to town. You see that car, call 911.
Yeah, it's 2 incidents where, again, force was used. So, Edgerton, of course, was the same street that Pat ran into the shooters the other day.
Sherwood between Cyril and Edgerton in the alley.
Isn't that just the progress of the track?
Copy, southbound from Sherwood between Laurel and Edgerton at 8:24.
Jason, good for you. You deserve a night off.
In Ohio?
Yep.
Copy, 8:25.
We can't keep up with you, Jason.
You have got some energy, my man.
And you're going to need a sidekick or a partner. Jelly Joe. We'll send Jelly Joe down there. What do you think?
I actually got a message saying, hey, you want to go visit Jason and go riding with him some night?
That'd be good. That'd be good.
I've never been to Logan, Ohio. I just might take him up on that.
Yeah.
It wasn't an invitation from Jason. I believe it was somebody in his town.
Well, he's always welcome to ride with us if he shows up here. Just so you know, Jason, anytime you're up here, we'd love to have your company.
We got a beautiful town here, Jason. You could be a real backseater. Nah, you'd sit in front. I'd sit in back.
You get your EVOC training, I'll just let you take them out.
Hopefully we got one of those coming up.
So the problem with these long searches, imagine this. You saw the squads down there, okay?
I mean, domestic noise occurring at Junction Arcade. Caller advising they pulled over in the town pickup truck. Male parties out of the vehicle screaming into the bed of the truck.
I was just saying how hard it is to get squads for other stuff. So now, Jenks and Arcade, there's no squads available for this domestic.
So we're going to head there.
307, you copy?
07, I copy. A 10-4 car can call the location. Have that call, take your spot.
360, Sherwood, Edgerton.
07, copy on round.
tan pickup truck.
And they're just arguing or what?
Well, he's pulled over and doesn't make sense. He's screaming into the bed of the pickup truck, it says.
He's arguing with his truck.
Could be. Clear.
Look.
So Jenks is 1 block north of Case, which we're on, and Arcade is coming up in 2 blocks.
Oh, I could have gone 1 north. I just thought I'd slide on the main street. He might not notice us as much.
I like that idea.
Who knows? Tan pickup truck, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe on the right there in the lot.
Yeah.
No, that's
not tan,
that's
but it could-
white.
Could be him. How about a tan van?
Strike 2.
Strike 2.
Right up there. I bet that's it.
Can you put us out at Hazelwood and Suburban with the suspect vehicle?
What the heck? She's young.
Charlie
Hazelwood
Delta
Suburban
Whiskey
1829.
041.
For Kevin Turner.
616, I copy.
Are we having an argument?
Break at 1829.
What's going on? Put your hands where I can see them, okay? Don't hide that orange pop. How are you?
I've been better.
Well, what?
To get back home, I got less strength.
Oh, we're gonna have a domestic debate. He's gonna get 1 minute to explain to me what's going on. Then I'm gonna give 1 minute to you. What's going on?
I was on the phone with my kid's mom and child up at the phone store.
Yep.
I haven't got to go visit my daughter in like 3 weeks. It's been a really rough time. She's finally given me the chance to do that. I want to bring her some brand new shoes I got her for gym. She just changed schools down here in North St. Paul.
360.
And I have a stuffed animal that she is throwing in the toilet and a bunch of other stuff to me.
Okay, let me before you start. So is this the mother of your child too here?
No, negative.
They have
Oh, so
very
you're
little description of the male party with a female appears to be in the
So where is your child?
in the back of
In
the
Maplewood on
Okay.
Hazelwood.
All right. So explain to me how you fit in, young lady.
I'm his girlfriend of 4 years, and
1830.
I'm going to slow them down, okay?
Yeah.
2755.
Are we on live?
Yeah. Are you a viewer?
2400
Yes,
naira
all
out
time.
that
Would you
tan
prefer you
pickup
not
truck.
be?
It's
I'd prefer whatever. I didn't do anything wrong.
east
No one's done anything
of
wrong.
Arcade
Squad's down.
on
I'm sure that
Jenks.
they don't come so
That's
fast.
code 4 right now, but we'll stand by for the
But it's like
St.
real
Paul
life,
squad.
right? So anyhow,
2755, I cover. You're going to be out with the vehicle. You're going to be code 4 for now. You'll be east of Arcade on Jinx at 1830.
It appears it's all verbal.
mute that for a little bit.
Copy.
We're going to mute this, folks. Sorry about that, folks. They requested that they.
Well, he didn't actually request. I could just tell he was a little.
Yeah.
He was a backseater, and when I asked, he just wasn't sure. I just felt uncomfortable. So we resolved the domestic situation, and the bottom line is it wasn't much of an argument. He wanted to do one thing, and she wanted to do another.
It was completely verbal. There was absolutely nothing physical about it.
We gave her a ride. We gave her a ride to
A
place, and he's going to go. Actually, he's going to go visit his daughter. The whole issue was driven by the fact that he has a daughter by another woman that he really wanted to go drop a pair of shoes off that he had bought for her. But he has to be there by 7 o'clock for the child's mother to agree to let him see her, and so he wanted to go see there, and they had different plans, and so now we sent him on his way to go visit her, and then he's going to pick her up later.
That's right.
So
could not ask for a better resolution than that.
That's how we resolve things. And 2 other St. Paul squads did show up there and offered to take care of the call, but we said we were deep into it already by then, right?
Yes, we were.
Ready, go ahead.
Now, so back to the original call. A man gets out of a brown pickup and he's yelling into the flatbed.
And that was actually the truth.
Because that's where she was. Right?
That's right.
As soon as we pulled up, we said, oh, that all makes sense now. Man was yelling at the flatbed. And did you check us out as me or you?
Both.
3 or 4 will show you clear by
That because they don't. Otherwise, his computer doesn't get it.
Verbally clear us, maybe?
Yeah. 981 Fremont. Complainant was assaulted by a suspect driving a sand-colored Honda Civic.
Okay.
Squads are en route. 2755.
Go ahead.
And 2400. Both be clear.
And advised.
Advised.
They might have given a disposition. They probably did, since we were there first.
Yeah.
I need to use the restroom at the M&H. I should have gone left instead of straight.
380. Car advising suspect is going to be an Asian male in a 35-6 in build. Seeing the vehicle left northbound in the alley towards Forest Street. And car is now saying that it was possibly his brother-in-law.
Sand colored, what kind of car?
Honda Civic. Okay. Possibly his brother-in-law. I think he'd know.
You'd know if you were married to somebody that was related to him, but you might not be sure whether he was married to your brother or sister.
Okay, you just lost me.
Remember that old riddle they used to tell in junior high? I forget what it was.
Yes, folks, we are going to be live again tomorrow night.
9/11 or shortly thereafter, depending on, but for sure by 10.
So we're not planning on being out to the early morning hours
And we
tonight.
will be shutting down the truck park. left this nice lady cross. Don't get hit by the other car. Ooh.
Somebody asked why send that man and woman separate ways if they're just going to meet up again later. Well, when we were on mute, that is exactly what they want to do. They wanted a little bit of time away from each other.
Well, and they were only arguing about what was going to happen the next 20 minutes.
Right.
He wanted to get to see his daughter, his birth daughter, and give her some shoes. And I don't think he wanted to bring her with to that. So he started pulling away without her, and she jumped into the back. I think that's what happened. And so then he tried to get her out of the back, and that's when we got called.
But in 20 minutes, the dispute will be resolved, and they definitely do at that point want to be back together again.
375.
Could you please change our call location to 747 Payne Avenue with code 4?
Copy 747 Payne, 1843.
By the way, I had to pick up a new washing machine last week. Mine went kaput. A1 Plus Appliance, just north of the East Team there on Payne Avenue. They will treat you right.
Okay, good to know. 'Cause I wasn't sure whether I would go to A1, A2, or A3.
So I split the difference. I went to A1 Plus.
A1 Plus.
And about all we have on the suspect who stole Brandon's DoorDash car is a white male, 23 to 25 years old, maybe with sandy brown hair, clean shaven, and he had a hoodie on.
Well, the last time we drove down East 7th Street,
Copy 1845.
the shout-out girls didn't say anything. You remember that?
We were out really late that
Well,
night,
I don't
though.
think that's an excuse. But I guess we've come to the conclusion that we've softened their hearts, and they actually...
They're starting to like us.
They're starting to like us now.
Yeah.
So on our way back to the M&H, we'll have to just verify that.
370.
I would have liked to have been close enough to get on that stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Pregnant, complaining over it.
Yeah, that would have been a nice one to come across coming toward us with parked cars on both sides. And just stop in the street.
Well, that's why the alleys are perfect, because they're narrow enough.
Yep.
Last time that didn't work that great. Hey, but the new Durango is almost done.
It is.
Almost done. It's almost
All
repaired.
right.
It's almost ready.
I've been missing that new girl.
You know? Let's get some extra bells and whistles and lights. This one, old Bessie's doing good, though, here, too.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love old Bessie. Well, shout out, girls. I hope you're watching us tonight.
Well, I'm sure they have better things to do. there you have it.
Probably doing their homework.
Seventh and Arcade. Gonna run in and use the restroom here. As night falls upon the city. What's the next line? We're just making it up. It's just like
as night falls upon the city and darkness descends.
The Durango rolls.
The Durango rolls
through the
into the
avenue.
familiar stomping grounds of the M&H. As Bob Fletcher prepares to ready himself for the onslaught of crime.
Duration. All right. You good?
I'm good.
You need anything?
I need nothing.
By the way, I got my hair cut today, Backseaters. What do you think?
It's a fine haircut.
Fine haircut. I think that's not bad.
When I go to get a haircut, it's, for the most part, that's literal. I'm getting a haircut.
Yeah.
You have to get a lot of hairs
I
cut.
liked his haircut today.
They did well.
My hairdresser's name is Angela.
All right, good job, Angela.
Tell Angela she did a nice job.
Wasn't that a fine haircut that Bob got?
Clear 4. Clear 4. Clear 400, I'll take another.
Well, thank you, Ann.
384, I copy.
Shared this to 25 different groups. Fantastic.
You can start with
Oh, thank you. How you doing? What's your name? What's your name? Bullock? Joshua, I'm Pat.
Just the one caller.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. He's in there. He'll be right out.
Copy. 307.
I'm Pat. Bob's inside. But he'll be right out if you want to say hi.
Advising that there is a group of 8 male parties that were outside, possibly shooting into the air. I don't know if it was an airsoft gun or otherwise.
How you doing tonight? Any plans?
636.
636.
I'm out. I got a address right now. Is there a description for these people that are shooting this off their gun up?
Negative. Also stating that they were possibly using narcotics as well as revving an engine, and that's an ongoing issue.
Okay.
1851. Squad 370, checking status. Copy, code for 1851.
How's policing going so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We're staying pretty busy.
Copy, 253, have a good night. 1851.
Little shout out to our M&H ladies. We're not going to be on too late tonight. We've got a long day both in the office and live tomorrow night, so we're not going to be out too late. He's almost done.
Everything's pretty quiet here. Your trash bag's full.
66, I copy.
No, M&H has been here for a long time, man. Old Dutch Crunch is an extra crispy Old Dutch potato chip. I think they're kettle cooked, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Bob, Joshua would like to say the hi.
If it's alright with the boss, change it to DLC. Every other 5, 3, 4, and 3, 3. There's just a bunch of kids outside and screaming.
Come on out here. You got a camera? What's the matter? Stand in front of here.
Copy. That's what's more good.
Yeah, say hi to your dad.
Right here. Show him where to talk.
Yeah, just come right over here.
All right.
Right over here, so he can hear you.
There's the microphone there.
The microphone is right here.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I ain't a young guy. I'm over 40. So it is what it is. So,
Exactly.
man, I always see you every night.
Thank
and
you.
I enjoy your movies. I enjoy your videos. Shown everywhere, all over town. You're really going to change the whole entire
Thank you.
economics around St. Paul. It is getting safer, but it needs to get more safe.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for everything y'all been doing.
Thank you.
I'm going for governor next year.
All right.
You're going to see my posters around. Please vote for me.
All right,
I
Joshua.
want to defend y'all.
There you go.
Thank you. Take care.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. John got a screenshot already. Thanks, John.
How'd my hair look?
You got a lot of compliments. And they said the way you sprinted after showing your hair, it seems you have more of a spring in your step now.
Huh?
And Angela, right?
Angela, yep.
Angela got a lot of shout outs for her good job.
I don't know if Angela watches, but her daughter Devaney might.
Oh, that's Devaney's mom. Okay.
Yeah. Her daughter Devaney might be listening, or Devaney's friends. I know Devaney tells me her friends watch. All right, well, let's leave the east side. There's something in my mouth. I can't get it out. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Got to go back to that Caribou. You and I should go to that Caribou Deli sometime. I like that place.
Yep, very much so.
Paint Minnehaha. Russo's. I don't know why I'm getting hungry. I feel like I just had lunch.
I'm assuming they didn't have any cheese dogs up, huh?
No, you know, the thing is, I was out. Well, I had a busy day. And then, you know, about 2:30, I went out to try to help with that stolen up in New Brighton.
Right.
Then I stopped over at Johnson High School to make sure everybody was peaceful. You know, if there's a squad outside the school, amazing. They don't fight.
Isn't that something? Who'd have thunk?
So there's a squad outside the school, they don't fight. So then I came down to get you, but before I did that, I stopped at the Holiday there across from Johnson High School and had my lunch.
What was lunch?
There was only one left.
Cheese dog?
It was only a regular dog, but it was pretty good.
Where did we get that spicy German sausage for you the other day?
I don't know. You got to figure that out. Was that the Super America Speedway?
I don't remember.
I
I wish I'd have gotten one
really
for myself,
spicy.
though.
Copy 1857.
And then
Copy 29, have the 1857.
So, the point I was making before that call came out is you got 6 to 8 cars on a perimeter. If you want to catch a burglar or an auto thief and you're tracking them, you need to have at least 6 on the perimeter, preferably more, and you need to have a dog and a thing. So you're down 8 officers automatically.
Yep.
And probably 10 if you want to be serious about tracking someone. So now that's all you got. We're really working some nights.
Exactly.
So then you get another call, and then you have to break away from your perimeter. It's just, this is the problem. You can't have an efficient, effective system without the right number. In order to get to the right number, it's going to take some heavy lifting. Minneapolis is down 200 plus. They're going to have to hire fast as they can, maybe do multiple academies at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But in St. Paul, they at least need to do back-to-back academies.
Yeah.
So
of 60 plus each. That's
what the debate is going to be in St. Paul, is how fast and how many and at what cost. And the Star Tribune called me today. I think they're writing a story on the whole matter tomorrow. I mean, one of the things, a couple other reporters called and they asked, well, you said you expected the mayor to kind of announce some new things, right? Mm-hmm. That he was going to do some stuff and that he would take a leadership role. Here's what I thought the mayor would say. I thought he would take the microphone and say, it's clear crime has evolved and my thinking has evolved with it. I'm going to add some more officers. 3 lines. It's clear crime has evolved in the last 2 years. My thinking has evolved and I'm going to add some more officers. I'm going to take some action. Every really successful politician that I've seen and watched, Obama was a great example of a guy that was willing to admit, hey, he's changed his views on things, and Bush as well. I mean, you have to be flexible. You have to be mentally flexible enough to say, maybe I should try something different.
Right.
You cannot stay in a stubborn one way. Your way is the only way. And
that's a recipe for failure.
It really is. It's all you got to do is say, it's like a general running an army. It's like when the facts on the field change, you change your strategy. And Obama said that. Hey, I used to think this way, but now I think this way. People can accept that you're willing to change. As a matter of fact, they want to know that you are. Because here's the ticket about, I spend a lot of time studying democracy in college. It's supposed to be representative government. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to constantly be searching for what the people would like. Yes, if you feel strongly, you can go to them and try to convince them and educate them with your facts. But if the people are resoundingly in favor of something, representative government is supposed to yield to that view, as long as it's not oppressive or discriminatory,
right,
etc.
Right.
But when it comes to matters like this, so we are back down here. Of course, it's closed right now. The truck park bar, they got the trailer bar next to the truck park. Really both owned by the same company. But I guess we're just looking for Well, when we elect our officials, we hope that they'll try to find out how the public feels.
Mm-hmm.
There's different types of theories of government. Some people think that, whatever their views are, they're elected, they should just rule that way. But others, like me, believe you're supposed to try to look for the consensus and the view of the community. And you have an obligation to go educate them, make sure they understand what the issues are.
Yep.
So I've seen many issues like that wise thinkers can modify their thinking.
It smells good
Hey,
down here.
hey, how are you?
Well, I can smell
What
that
is
wonderful Italian food from
Was that the
Cassetta's.
Italian food, or
that
was
was
that
from
the-
Cassetta's.
It was.
Yep.
I thought it smelled more like Maharaji's. I mean, Cassetta's is awesome, I think that had well, that was probably like the salad bar part we were smelling.
It smelled like garlic toast to me.
Oh, did it? Hey, how are you? Good, just in time towing. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for watching.
That's 2 cars in a row.
Two 264 and 270.
Here we go.
Here we go.
264. 270.
Or downtown squad that can break 78 10th Street East on an alarm that covers the front door.
264, copy.
Well, if you're new, keep in mind there's 3 major precincts in St. Paul.
Copy. 264 and 270.
We're going to do a U-turn here, and while we're doing it, you'll see the location of the shelter that's been controversial here. Nobody disputes the need for the services. The question's always been, what's the best location? That is the debate. Hug your mother, not the index. What does that mean?
I don't know. Hug your mother, not the index.
I don't know what that means. Then it says DGI fund. Oh, the index must be like the stock index.
Okay.
All right. Is that what it is?
I wouldn't think I'd be hugging a stock index. I don't know.
Hug your mother, not the index. Well, that makes you think. It's one of those commercials that makes you think.
Makes you think, but I gotta wonder, whoever came up with that one, how much money they got paid.
That comes in my mind every time I watch a commercial, and after it's over, I'm thinking, whose commercial was that? So we're down on West 7th and Walnut. Hey. West 7th and Walnut. Tom Reed's.
They've put out a good cheese dog.
Amen. Downtowner, Burger Mo's, Patrick McGovern's.
New Bohemia First Beer House.
I gotta try that sometime. Setas. There's the memorial there. Marquisha. lot of people have been stopping by. Party sleeping in the gazebo here earlier today.
Oh, at Irvine Park?
Yeah. That's one thing. Speaking of Cassetta, I mentioned his comments the other day, but he just summed it up as we need leadership. That was the bottom line. Dave's view was just we need leadership. Somebody just step up and lead. Which I guess was really the point of what Mr. Dino Guerin was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Councilmember Dave Thune, we're down in your neighborhood here. Been an eye on it for you. You're a good man, Dave Thune.
Yeah, he really is. Okay. One of the good guys. Looks like he found somewhere else to sleep.
What is it, 7:09? We've been out for 4 hours. I got one call that I want to go to. We'll see if it gets busy. I'm gonna grab this piece of paper here for a minute. Back. Oops. Got it here?
Yeah, Irvine Park here that we're in is one of my favorite neighborhoods in town. It really is.
Could have lost it. Let me look up above the visor. Okay, what do we got here? Oh yes, I got it here now. What do we got?
All right, I gotta answer a question here real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, Dakota. My main flashlight is an Olight Javelot Pro, Javelot. Bob has one also.
You gave it to me, thank you, for a Christmas present.
But that's the brightest one. But the one I usually use is a little smaller, but it has a wider beam, and it's called the Olight Warrior Pro Turbo.
And you found it. You got it back to you.
Yeah, right at 2 days after I got the new one I ordered in the mail. Yeah. Yeah. So now I have one for home and one for work. Yeah. Sorry I missed your question before.
So we're going to head into the West 7th Street neighborhood here. I'm going to tell you about a call that happened yesterday and tell you about the impact the shortage of police officers in St. Paul had. And we're going to tell you a story like this every day because, to be honest with you, Pat and I, we each have computers. We're able to watch which calls are impending.
Yep. We
can tell when there's too many calls for squads. And, you know, if this wasn't a decision-making year for how many bodies and parts,
270 traffic.
clear right.
We might not mention it as often as we do, but the thing is,
Isabel.
this is as important as anything ever in the history of the city.
Alpha Golf Romeo 306.
Are we going to have enough personnel to safely provide a safe environment? So we haven't really done this very often, but we're going to start now.
I want to interject a little something before you get into that.
Yeah.
And that is, if you eliminate the police from going to the, in this case, not a low priority crime, but lower priority crimes, any kind of crime.
Don't tell my story yet.
Okay. All right. We do think a lot alike.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you. And I'll tell the short story, and then you can tell why it's so important, because it's just.
Copy 1913.
So we're down on West 7th Street. We're gonna head over to Palace. It's a call that came in last night on Palace.
I'm not going to give you the exact address.
No, but we're going to be on the block, just to tell you, because believe me, just as I tell this story, trust me, I've heard enough of these that I can tell you definitively, it's not the police officer's fault.
Not at all.
It's not the comm center's fault. Imagine being a dispatcher and having calls in front of you and not being able to have any cars to go to them. Right? What a terrible job.
You don't have any cops to send.
What a terrible situation. And if I hear one more time what a great job our cops do, like somehow that means we don't need more of them.
Yeah.
Of course they do a great job. We're the biggest fans in America. But it's that doesn't mean they don't need relief and more bodies out there. Yes, they responded as best they could with the resources they had after the fact on West 7th Street. What we're talking about is what resources before the fact might have made a difference. So, all right, we're on Palace, down off of West 7th Street. Not far from, what is that, the Cake and Case over there, Pat?
Yep. Or
which one is that?
It's some new brewery.
New brewery, yeah. We're just going to drive down Palace.
7 a.m. code 4.
Then we're going to stop after a little bit.
You tracking code 4 1960.
So, just to give you a feel for the neighborhood. Palace and Daly. Probably you've been to church down here, funerals down here at St. Francis. A few Catholic funerals. Palace Harbor.
It's a great neighborhood.
Yep, historically very little crime. Check that out. We got, I think it's actually Palace Playground, right?
Yep, there's the kids
playing. It's a little football.
Helmets look so big on young guys.
Well, I think the human head grows fast.
Yeah, it does.
You can see them out there playing some football. It's a quality playground here.
Yeah, Palace is great.
Yeah, we ran into some people we knew down here once, not too long ago. So
those dispatchers you were talking about, they have one of the toughest jobs in America.
Amen.
They are our lifeline. And Alicia, if you're commenting on this live feed, you are commenting on Facebook.
So I'm going to park next to the church here. I think I'm going to park by the church. That's not going to do it. You see these glasses, Pat?
Those the cheaters?
Maybe not. Well, I guess not. I have to read. Oh, there's no glass in that one.
That's funny.
It is very clear. Oh, there it is.
There is your lens.
Oh, well, I can read this without. So anyhow, my eyes adjust a little bit. All right, so yesterday at 5 o'clock, a woman comes home and calls the police and says what? You can read that.
Her house was broken into. The frame on the front door was broken. The door was open, and her belongings were rifled through. The caller already cleared the house.
So that means she went in and she was going, hi. What's up, Bob? How's it going?
Good, how you doing? What's up, Pat?
Hey, how are you?
We're right, Pat.
Yes, sir.
You're right, Pat. Thanks for coming out and saying hi.
Mike, Pat.
Oh, I thought I recognized that voice.
Who is it?
It's Ike.
Oh,
how are
Ike.
you doing, Ike?
Good. We're telling a story about a burglary on your block.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But we're not giving out the address.
Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you for your help.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So anyhow, she went through the house herself, but she called the police because she wanted an officer to come out and take the report, which normally on an on a house burglary, we would want to come out.
And we'd want to be the ones to clear the house, actually.
But even if you cleared the house first, there's potential evidence, fingerprints, DNA. Home burglaries are a very, very serious matter to law enforcement.
Absolutely.
And so they would want to come. So she calls, and the call's in pending.
They first called right before 5 o'clock. Okay?
4:48. Hang on a second.
How's it going, guys?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Thank you for being in our neighborhood.
Oh, thank you for having
you.
us. Thank you for because it's very crime free. But we're telling a story about a burglary down here.
Okay.
And but it's very crime free. But thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for being here, and we appreciate everything you do.
Thank you so
You
much.
guys are wonderful.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
Thank you. That
Thank
means
you.
a lot. We love you too.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Stay safe out here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So she calls. The call goes in to at 4:58, right?
Yep.
And then she calls back
At 5:22.
an hour and 22 minutes later.
Or
they try
20,
to call.
20.
Here's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
they tried to call
There's
her
too
back.
many. They don't have enough cars to go to the call.
Right.
They're too busy. So they call her back an hour and 22 minutes later and to leave a message telling her we don't have cars, but you can call in to teleserve to make the report. Or someone's going to call you, right?
Yep.
Someone's going to call you. And so then what's the next piece here?
7:30.
Caller is still
waiting for an officer to call him back.
So she calls back at 7:30, and she's hoping a car. So she's been there for 2.5 hours, hoping that an officer will call her back.
720 Armstrong Avenue in the upper unit. On a disturbance, stating that he's hearing stomping and pounding on the floor.
We're not too far from that, but read the last thing then. So what happens then? Finally, someone next page. They don't send a squad, but they do call her back. And what time is that?
(8:32 p.m.)
She gets a call from the teleserve
and makes a report over the phone.
And you can't blame the police department, but this is what frustrates Chief Axtell, is that he doesn't have enough officers to be able to respond in a way that he would like to respond. So you got a home burglary, the door's kicked in, and physical evidence could be everywhere. Who knows? And we don't have enough squads to send one.
Nope.
And I'm telling you, that happens more often than you think. And we're going to make sure we have concrete evidence to talk about when we're out here.
For sure.
700 Armstrong. Pounding or something, right?
I'm looking. It was dispatched?
Yeah, 700 Armstrong.
Oh, there it is.
See, I'm a good radio guy. You're the car guy. You can pick a car out.
Oh, it's a neighbor dispute. Upstairs neighbor stomps and pounds.
Well, okay. Should we go tell him to stop stomping? Take your shoes off. My son-in-law is a stomper. I mean, not intentional.
Right.
He's a big guy. He's got big.
Oh, you're right. That is Kagan Case.
Kagan Case. Big guy. He's got big feet. And it is hard to sleep beneath him. Great guy, just big feet. But some people never learn how to slide their feet. West 7th Street, we are here. And all is well.
Oh, you know what? I want to go back to what I was starting to say. And that is, with this movement to stop sending police officers to low priority calls and have a teleserve unit take it, or perhaps have some kind of civilian employee go.
Yep.
What you're doing is you are removing the opportunity to have police-civilian interactions that are non-confrontational. If you're sending the police only to the high-priority crimes of violence or felonies in progress, you're doing two things. You are bombarding the officers with the constant negativity of what's going on in the community, and you are eliminating the possibility to have normal interactions.
Right.
The going to the whatever minor situation there may be that doesn't involve a crime necessarily is an opportunity for the police to interact with the community, to build relationships with the community, to build friendships in the community.
And let me just add, most cops want to go to those calls, to be there to help people in their worst time when their home's burglarized. Because a home burglary is a serious invasion, and the citizens need some comfort, they need some assurance that possibly the person is going to be caught. And whether it's processing for fingerprints or DNA, nowadays we do a lot of DNA. We just swab the area, send it in. There's a possibility of catching people from DNA, and the victim's number one fear is that that suspect is going to come back because he has not been caught.
Yep.
Number one fear.
Yep.
And they're worried they're going to come back next time they're going to be home. And by the way, in 15% of burglaries, people are home. That now...
That's a traumatic experience.
Many times they do flee immediately, but a certain percentage they do not. Anyhow, another reason to have adequate staffing.
Somebody said, what happened to the beat cops? There aren't enough cops to assign officers to a foot beat who are going to be limited to a small geographical area.
Yeah.
26 10th Street
With
West,
the shortage of officers, you have to have officers that can leave the area they're in and respond to a call in another area. Foot beats are great. Highly advocate for them, but there just aren't enough cops. Just the truck park area by Tom Reed's, by the XL Energy Center. What an ideal location to have 2 or 3 2-officer foot patrols at all times. And then at bar close, let there be officers who are not tied up be able to be there for an added presence at bar close.
So I got to get my book out. And we don't spend a lot of time down here, but I want to know who. I got a couple copies of it. Who Rogers Street was named after? You know, Rogers.
Yeah.
163.
And then Race. Who is Race named after? Rogers and Race.
29.
That's the intersection we just pulled through. Rogers and Race.
I reluctantly admit that I don't think I ever knew before this moment that there was a Rogers Street.
Well, this is really going to blow your mind. The street we turned on was called May.
May.
I'm serious. There's a May and a Rogers.
I'll be darned.
See, we
Oh.
Happy 178 at West Reading.
You know why it's named Rogers Street? You do know.
Right. Okay.
It's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Well, it could be. It could be. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And by the way, I really enjoyed that Mr. Rogers movie. Tom Hanks played him, of course.
Oh, you know, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you should rent it. It's just he's a genuine human being, but the movie really kind of laid out his personality. NJM 755. What do you think about that?
I think we should check it.
534. Union Depot, 240 East Kellogg. Security out with the female listed trespass. Officer refused to leave. Colleen O'Meara, 6551. Dark coat, white
All good.
pants, short hair.
All good.
534. I think.
Hey, by the way, you were yawning the other night. People were blaming it on me.
Well, that makes up for the night you were coughing and people were blaming it on
there
me.
You have it. There you have it. Well, West 7th Street looks quiet down here. All quiet on the West 7th Street front.
Well done. Rooster's Barbecue Deli. Whoa. Great barbecue. Great food in general.
By
Is
the
that
way,
a Vulcan's?
Yeah, but that reminds me. Sunday, the Vulcan's Booyah is at Mancini's. Okay? Now, it looks like an old Vulcan fire truck. So, but if you're in the area, which we are, go down to Mancini's on Sunday and get a Vulcan Booyah. But
they make some of the best.
It won't just be Vulcans. It'll be all Winter Carnival. I know Tommy Barrett's going to be there. John Maslowski's going to be there. Steve Leiden's going to be there. Ron Nafla, I'm sure Ron Nafla, chief of the Minnesota State Fair, will be there. Find your way to Mancini's for the Vulcan Booyah this weekend. I'm going to try to get over there myself.
Is it 1 day or 2 days?
I don't know if it's, I think it's just Sunday. Oh, they sell buckets of that stuff. People come in and buy it in quarts, half gallons.
Well, our friend Brent, another clearly St. Paul historian, said that's Dusty Thune's Vulcan truck.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Good to know. Thank you, Brent.
And he and several other people also told us that Edward Rogers was a local attorney and state legislator.
Well, there you have it. I appreciate that.
Connie Spriegel said it is an excellent booyah.
No doubt about that. So,
Sunday only at Mancini's. I'll tell you, with all these booyahs, you got to get there early or you miss out. They go through it fast.
the Vulcan Booyah. You can't beat that. You go down to Mancini's, you get a Booyah, you get the atmosphere. Maybe even order yourself TV. Is it Thursday night? Oh, there's Thursday night football.
Yes, it is.
I
think this is the first Thursday night football
No,
game.
they had one last week.
Oh,
too.
did they?
But 7-0.
No, Barry, the radio is not off. It's just being a surprisingly and pleasantly quiet night.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm revealing anything that's strange, but it's not unusual for us to have a lull. Go ahead there, buddy. That's not a parking spot. To have a lull in activity immediately after a major shooting incident.
And that's about as major a shooting incident as
And that happens because persons involved in criminality and the criminal element, they conclude that the officers are going to be hyper vigilant after something occurs like that. And so I'm not saying whether that's a good conclusion or a bad conclusion, but then some of the criminal element tends to lay low for a few days.
Very true.
It doesn't take long for them to decide,
7132,
back to normal.
7107.
But usually get a couple day reprieve.
32.
Dude, just playing the song.
5200 Trap Street Drive
Chris
on a
Walker.
suspicious caller. So there's a neighbor standing in, there's a stranger standing in the neighbor's driveway with a flashlight. Their neighbors are elderly and no one has tried to speak to this person to see what they want yet. Bring our red hoodie.
It's been a peaceful night.
Very much
City. As the sun sets upon the...
261.
I love watching those little kids play football. Like third or fourth graders, huh?
Yep.
I don't know.
And log us out real quick right now. Log us into a computer.
Some places start football in third, some fourth, some fifth.
Yes, Jenny, we will be live tomorrow night as well.
64. Can you end my current call and assign me to the
Parking complaint on Howard Street and Minnehaha Ave. 7-1, I don't know.
Well, we're sorry. We apologize for being on during the football game.
Shut down westbound traffic at Hoffman, and then westbound traffic at OJ, eastbound traffic at Hoffman.
I need squads to go to Linden and E and then shut down westbound to OJ and eastbound to Hoffman.
934, I'll shut down E and Hoffman.
Okay.
3 Victor Delta Romeo.
Read me that billboard.
Copy, 96.
Hello, old friend.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I need another squad on the res to shut down westbound at OJ at Linden and County Road E. There's a lot of traffic there. We need you on the res.
Linden and County Road E.
I'm finishing up with my current parties. I'll go there here in a second.
Is that the
That was
accident?
9174.
Check that out for me, will you?
9170. There's not another spot available. I can head down there.
What road is it on?
White Bear, Linden and County Road E. It's down near the
Property damage
Copy.
accident.
9170, I'll show you in route. 9174, just verifying that you're wrapping up that first accident and you're gonna help with the other one.
There was another one with the
Another
motorcycle.
one.
There was a
Yeah,
motor.
you can clear that one report and then assign me to the second one.
Copy it, 1939.
9171. I got E and OJ.
Copy it, 1939. 4423 Tango, clear squad advice. Copy it, 1939.
Everything
Yeah,
okay
before
there?
1939.
It's a jumbo wash. Yep. Thought I saw a little pushing. Very good.
Somebody
Now,
didn't want his face seen.
9174.
there's a little pushing and shoving
First
there.
accident report.
Mere presence of the squad is like, oh,
Got that.
going on?
Let's calm it down.
Here's the Mancini's Char House on West 7th in case you haven't ever been there. You get the Vulcan Booyah. It's like 555, 535 West 7th Street.
St. Paul Police Department was established in 1854, correct?
Somewhere in there, I know that.
I think it's the same year as the sheriff's office.
No, we got to beat 1849.
Oh.
We were actually established even before the state was there because someone had to patrol the territories.
Bring law and order.
Territories.
Booyah is kind of a cross between soup and stew.
Yeah.
But it's very hearty. It has several different meats in it, several vegetables. If done right, an amazing broth.
I'd call it a stew though, wouldn't you?
I think it's more a stew.
A little bit of extra broth, but I don't know. Booyah.
There's a nice Corvette.
Yeah. Well, we are going to pull up here and just remember Marquisha before we sign off. And Pat, I'm going to let you just
Assist medics 915 West Minnehaha, number 201.
say a few words here about
female just yelling.
the young lady.
Remember Marquisha Wiley?
Says she wants to get out.
She was known widely as Kiki.
Violent, does not have a
Was an
weapon.
amazing young woman. Had completed her schooling and was a veterinary tech. I mean, who knows anybody in the veterinary field who isn't just in general a kind and gentle person. And everything we know about Markeisha is she was a kind and gentle soul.
And out our right window, we're looking at her memorial on the ledge there.
Yep.
And the messages from her family to honor her.
It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking.
Well, please join us tomorrow at 9/11 or shortly thereafter for our Friday night live on patrol.
And do please continue to be kind. We will see you tomorrow night, folks. Good night.